All right, here we go with some Arena tonight. Time for the metagame challenge first, the Temur Clover, just see how many coins, gold coins I can win, and then from there we'll move on to some ladder games, depending on how long it takes. I have, I think, one loss to give, so we'll see how this goes. Just do a quick stream check, make sure everything's running well. Looks like everything's running pretty well. And here we go. So yeah, I guess I will probably make this into a VOD later, so I'll offer some brief observations, even though I don't know if anyone's watching yet. Still like Temur Clover quite a bit. I think the deck just has a bunch of really powerful cards in it, cards that maybe are a little bit underrated right now because they're not the shiny new thing anymore. And while decks certainly have gotten more powerful as a result of Theros being released, at the same time, a lot of the decks that were scarier matchups for Temur have sort of gone away. There is not a lot of Jeskai fires in the ladder right now, for example. And a lot of the new decks take the form of being kind of grindy mid-range decks, and I will happily play grindy mid-range matchups all day, although it looks like we're up against cats. I hate cats. Never like cats very much. The good news is we do have a Bone Crusher now, which means we can at least stop an early Priest. I am going to refrain from dropping a Lovestruck token right now. I think I'd rather just save the 2 life and have the 1 token a turn earlier or whatever. Hand's pretty good at being defensive. Yarok's Fenlurker is not a card I love seeing, but comfortable just going ahead and getting rid of Lovestruck Beastier, I think. Next turn, I definitely want to keep Clover, Beanstalk, Bone Crusher, and enough lands to do Beanstalk reliably, so it makes it a pretty easy choice. This card is surprisingly good against this deck. I haven't been able to quite theorize out about like why this card always feels so bad, but I think we'll be alright. Even if they play an Ayara this turn or something like that, we at least get to kill their 2 creatures with Bone Crusher and do a Beanstalk Giant next turn, the kind of classic opening. If they Fenlurker again, we just get rid of a land, that's fine. Hard to think of anything too scary that could happen. Worst case, it's like a Midnight Reaper, and then they draw 1 card, and I still get to kill 2 of their creatures and a bunch of their pips. Why, look at that, it's a Timuret. Can't kill that one, but it's just a 2/2 once I kill their other stuff, so I don't really care that much about getting rid of it. So we're going to Beanstalk. I could get 2 islands and just hold off on Bone Crushing, but I think it's worth it just to get rid of this early stuff for now. Go ahead, do Island and Forest. There's a world where I try to go for the double Lovestruck tokens and see if they're willing to trade off stuff. Oh, well, I'm a dummy. Now I'm going to have to do Lovestruck and get some tokens because I forgot to get the other mountain because I was talking too much about the chance to do Lovestruck style things. Whatever. All right, we'll see if they want to trade off anything and still kill 2 of their creatures next turn with Escape to the Wilds plus Bone Crusher, so it's not a big deal. At the very least, these are going to hold off some of their offense for a little while. But yep, already it's been a long time since I've streamed, and that's probably pretty obvious. Ew, another one? All right, well, I'm just going to get rid of this land. That's a lot of black pips, but I don't think I care that much. See if they're willing to just attack in right now, because otherwise their army of 1/1s isn't going to get much better here. No, they're being patient. All right, whatever. No blocks. Got me. Okay. I'm definitely still just escaping. They have no pressure. And we hit a... yeah, I'm just going to play the other Clover out. They can't remove these, and they can't get rid of my Bone Crusher Giant from the Exile Zone, or probably the one from hand, so I think they're just going to lose their whole board next turn, which is fine by me. Alright, what's it going to be? Ayara? Midnight Reaper? I don't think there's anything you could play that I care about. It's not Grey Merchant of Asphodel, and that one's a little ways off. Midnight Reaper, sure. Whatever. I mean, now you should probably be attacking with the 1/1s. Run some cards off him. No? Okay. I will continue to take hits. Life total is getting a little bit low, but this deck is not going to be able to apply pressure very well to us, so now I just get the free Beanstalk Giant here. Get Forest Island Island. I think Forest Island sounds good. It was a really good draw, by the way. This deck just is full of good draws once you have 2 Clovers in your hand. And then this turn, I would like to be able to go for... Yeah, I think it's just a bunch of Bone Crushers. All right, so let's make sure we do this correctly. So we're going to wipe their whole board out. I want to make sure that I remember the order of how to do this. So the Midnight Reaper is the last thing that gets hit. This, again, I'm a little rusty. So we're going to stomp, we're going to target. So the first copy is going to target the Midnight Reaper, is how this is going to work. So the Reaper dies before anything else dies. That's key. So hit the Reaper. Reaper down, they draw a card. Hit the other Fenlurker. In theory, I probably should have played Incubation first, but I can't imagine that doing that would change my plans. I'm certainly not bouncing those Fenlurkers. Let's just continue to wipe out their whole board here. And then make sure we cast the Innkeeper before it goes away. Perfect. You. Nice 2/2 for 2. Yeah, I have not been impressed with the mono black decks that I've been seeing so far. In theory, I should have left up 2 green in case I got a Lovestruck Beast off this, but I doubt it really matters much here. Sure, I'll take the last Beanstalk Giant, whatever. More ramp sounds great. And let's commence the beatdowns. I guess if they kill Edgewall Keeper, I technically don't have any card draw, but they're going to have to deal with a lot of power and toughness coming their way in a hurry. I'm still at a pretty safe life total here. We're going to need to draw really dead off the top, and they're going to need to have probably, yeah, at least one Grey Merchant here to accomplish much of anything. There's the Oven. So they can get some good drain going next turn, but I still think we have plenty of time to... Alright, that's a lot of Beanstalk Giants, jeez. Okay, guess we'll just get the rest of the basics. While we're here, in the deck a bunch. And as soon as we find a Fae of Wishes, the game will end. Because then we get to start getting a bunch of life with Shadow Spear and also just killing other creatures and that sort of thing. Alright, and I can play 3 creatures this turn. Yep, gonna do that. We'll play 1 creature and see what we draw, but sort of thing. Mm-hmm. I guess they're also just dead to 1 fling at this point, right? We got all of our basics? Yeah, they're going to be dead to 1 fling. And, alright, I like Brazen Borrower. I don't think we're going to need it this turn, but it'll be a good way to clear the way. Or I guess just undo whatever they do next turn. They do play Grey Merchant. I go to 4, which is fine. I guess they can then sack Grey Merchant, get back the cat once, then sack... Actually, I'm dead to Grey Merchant, aren't I? Yeah, I'm actually dead to Grey Merchant, so should have bounced IR there. We'll see if they have the land and a Grey Merchant to kill me. Man, I am not used to the mono black lines yet. Okay, this will be interesting. You need to rip the land and have the merchant in hand for this to work. It does kill me, right? Yeah, that does just kill me. Man, alright. Don't do it. Just let me untap with this Brazen Borrower and kill you, please. Hey, no worries, iPhone Fan 5. Have a good night, and thanks for tuning in ever so briefly to say hi. Alright, so opponent's going to start drawing some cards with Ayara here. Trying to drain me. They shouldn't be able to assemble enough damage here, I don't think. With only the 1 Witch's Oven. But we are going to need to find something kind of soon. This is a good amount of damage. Just 1 Fae of Wishes would have done the trick. I guess at this point, if we find like a Bone Crusher Giant, we can probably kill with damage. I haven't really calced that out so far. But yeah, certainly any of the Fae of Wishes, of which we still have 4 yeah, we have 4 Fae of Wishes in the deck, all of which are lethal. And they effectively win the game, even if we may not kill on the spot, depending on how long it takes to find them. Okay, and Alright, so how do I start this? I think I don't care about making tokens. I just want to have as much mana open as possible for when I possibly find Fae of Wishes. So I'm going to start with the cheap draw that is... let's see, how much mana do I actually have here? So we've got... Thanks very much, iPhone 5. 16 mana, meaning that I can Beanstalk and have 9 mana open, which is plenty for Fae plus Expansion Fling. Yeah, why don't we just start off with a... If I do draw Escape to the Wilds, which is another thing I could find here. Okay, we're going to start with Lovestruck Beast. Not going to bother with the tokens, they don't have much use for us now. Single Fling should probably... Okay, Temple of Mystery is not bad, because that actually gets me a card deeper, which is definitely more valuable than having the untapped land at this point. Edgewall Innkeeper, another copy of that card. So I can go bounce, draw the Innkeeper, play the Innkeeper, but that doesn't really... I'm starting to run out of mana at that point, so I don't think that really gets me anywhere. I'm going to bottom that. I'm going to cast Beanstalk Giant, which still leaves me enough mana to do Fae of Wishes plus Fling, which is lethal from here. Okay, cool, great. So we're just going to go ahead and attack and then Fae of Wishes into Fling. I guess they could Murderous Rite of the Beanstalk Giant, but given that they haven't done it yet, I don't think they're going to. Alright, so they take a bunch of damage, and then we just kill them with Fling. And if they do kill the Beanstalk Giant in response to this, I can just Brazen Bar with their whole board and be pretty safe, I think. And now that if they let one of these copies resolve, they just... Actually, Fling just kills them with Lovestruck Beast anyway, so this is fine. We got there in the end. Okay, cool. Not being able to respond to these is kind of funny. Alright, we'll get Alright, we just don't want to show them anything, so I'll just grab Great Henge, whatever. I guess I should just be getting Ether Gust at this point, but I'm just being lazy. Return to Nature, sure, and just fling this at their face. Take 17, thank you. Okay. Are they going to kill the Bone Crusher Giant out of spite? Do they have Murderous Rider this whole time? I think they may have had a Murderous Rider this whole time. Okay, Mono Black. Hit. Hey there, Cydra Kiss Bad. Yes, I agree. That is how I'm feeling. It's nice to get the fling kills once in a while. Normally, you don't need them these days, but nice to have them once in a while. This is definitely not an Ether Gust matchup. So what am I bringing in? They can't kill the Great Henge, so I'm pretty into having the Great Henge as a second copy. I'll keep one escape in the board for fetching. What's not great against them? Fae is still a good blocker. I could just be lazy and cut Incubation and Congruity. Yeah, I'm not taking the metagame challenge that seriously, so I'm going to be lazy and cut Incubation and Congruity here. It's a pretty good start for them. I mean, they got stuck on lands for a little bit, but they also had double Fenlurker. Yeah, Rob D's champ, this deck, even if this deck's not good anymore, and I don't know if it's good or not, you can still play a lot of sweet games. And I do suspect that games where our opponents are just trying to out mid-range us, as with Mono Black, are often going to go well for us. Especially since they can't kill Clover, they can't do Shadow Spear, they can't kill Shadow Spear. This hand is really interesting. On the draw with a Scryland, I think I'm actually okay with this. It's close. It's close, and I might get punished horribly for it, but having like Clover and Innkeeper is just so strong, and that's not a duress, which is cool. I guess one thing to possibly watch for would be Elspeth's Nightmare out of the board. I don't know if they run that one. Beanstalk Giant, sure. In for having just a bunch of mana. I just need kind of one Brazen Bar or Bone Crusher before our opponent gets too aggressive, and this is definitely a good hand for keeping against Fenlurkers. Let's just get rid of Stomping Ground. Don't need that one. Nice 1/1. And they definitely shouldn't have any kind of answer to Clover. Yeah, Bone Crusher Giant would be super sweet. That'll take pretty much any spell at this point. Fenlurker again. Yep, thank you. Keep playing 1/1s. I do not mind. Sure. Also having Storm's Wrath available in the sideboard is a huge upgrade for this deck, one that I'm very happy with. Still being stuck now, no reason to do temple stuff. We get another blue source and another red source here, just to keep them guessing a little bit. And then hopefully we got a spell in the next turn or two. Draw some cards with Innkeeper and just proceed with the big mana stuff from there. There's Ayara, great. Okay, this would be an excellent time to start killing their fodder creatures before she can sack them in response. Well, I'm down to 10 already, huh? And that's okay, we might actually just die. This hand might not be interactive enough. Alright, I'll keep Brazen Borrower. I like Brazen Borrower a lot. And then next turn I can Innkeeper plus Bounce plus Borrower, so there's not really any reason to cast Innkeeper now. Certainly not going to be attacking with it. Probably dead, though. Probably this this hand where he didn't actually interact with the board for the first 4 turns is going to be a little slow. Don't know if that was a lesson by keeping that kind of hand or not. I think we hit, drew pretty poorly off of it. Okay, so they're just going for the attack. Makes sense, makes sense. And then bouncing with Bar was not that helpful because they can recast a lot of the stuff. We're just going to get rid of their most expensive cards here. Goodbye, goodbye. And then, actually, we're just dead to attacks, right? Yeah, we're actually just dead to attacks. Never mind. Can't get out of this one. All right, they were a little too quick there. We didn't have any interaction. Just our mistake, maybe. Yep, super happy with the board position, though. Definitely want to keep the Storm's Wrath in the sideboard. And yeah, let's just interact before turn 4 this next game. Mono Black is the only game I've lost, or only match I've lost with Temur Clover so far on the ladder in about 10 has been the Mono Black, so who knows, maybe the matchup's not great. Oh god, mulliganing against the Yarok's Fenlurker deck is not my favorite, but I like this hand. This hand seems kind of nice, just getting some good Bone Crusher value in. Seems excellent. First Bone Crusher is going to hold off their first 3 or 4 turns of doing stuff, at which point we can Fae of Wishes and go from there. If they do Fenlurker, I think I'm probably discarding the other Bone Crusher. Or maybe they just don't do anything, and then I'm not obliged to do anything either. Do I throw this at your face? Kinda into it, yeah. I'm just going to cast one next turn anyway, so I might as well throw it at your face while we're doing that. And next turn I can Fae for an Escape to the Wilds, which I still have on my board. Looks like their start's pretty slow. That one's fine. Okay, Beanstalk Giant I don't think changes the fundamental plan of... see, do I even bother to attack? How important is it to be aggressive? I don't actually think it's that important to be aggressive. I'll say no attacks, and go ahead and just grab that Escape to the Wilds. Anything I might want that's better than Escape to the Wilds? I have a Crowan War, which doesn't really do anything. There's Shadow Spear, which is a nice life gain source, but I don't think it's going to be enough by itself. Yeah, I'll just pick up the Escape, get some card stuff going. Definitely not easy when you mulligan into a no Innkeeper, no Clover hand, but I don't feel terrible about the position now. If they Fenlurker, we'll just discard Beanstalk Giant. Bloodthirsty Aerialist. Okay. I mean, that's a... Alright, that'll grow pretty quick. Wow, alright. So they found a follow-up. We're going to get hit pretty hard in the air. Starting next turn. Even got double Black Pips. That's an interesting innovation. It's probably not great against, like, Wrath effects, but each their own, and of course we immediately draw the card we wished for. Perfect. Alright. Let's see what I can get going here. Would love a Clover and a Brazen Borrower. That'd be a good combination of things to find. Okay. 1 for 2 is not bad. Let's see if we can find a Brazen Borrower with this one. Yep, perfect. Okay. So, if we live through next turn, we should be in pretty good shape, but let's see what happens. They play Grey Merchant. Boy, am I dead to Grey Merchant? I sure am dead to Grey Merchant. Yowza. This card's pretty scary, come to think of it. It's gonna be like a 3-mana 7/8 with many of the things they could do next turn. I see they're thinking about sacking the Familiar. Maybe they're looking for a 5th land to do Gary things with. If I'd saved a Bone Crusher, I could have double stomped the Ayara on turn 4. It's an interesting idea. Yeah, that's certainly plenty of devotion to kill me, so I am just dead. Alright, that was a quick metagame challenge. Alright, Mono Black, you win this time. That keep in game 2 is probably pretty lazy. And yeah, still learning that matchup. I think keeping the double stomp for arrow is probably appropriate, given that they don't have any other 3-drops that really matter. And they hadn't played anything that I had to block. It's an interesting question. Alright, so... Oh, they let you enter more than once. I don't really care about entering more than once, though. Let's just play ladder. Anything but mono black would be pretty fun to see. I suspect this deck is pretty great against mono white. Pretty great against basically anything where they're dealing damage through trying to deal damage through blockers. I've crushed the white control a couple times in matches that didn't feel super close. Yikes. Sorry about any audio feedback from the mic falling over there. And the matches against food still seem pretty good. Doom Foretold might be worrisome. If there's a lot more Doom Foretold on the ladder, that's not going to be the funnest, maybe. Ew. Hands of kind of Garbo type, but we're on the play with a turn 4 Escape to the Wilds? I'm okay with that. And then Temple of Epiphany has a bunch of good 2-drops that we can find off it. Hey there, Tam Wham. Good to see ya. That's my wife, in case y'all are wondering. The heart is sincere. Definitely keeping that because it's a spell. I like spells. Okay, opponent is... I don't know what the opponent is. Just going to keep scrying and trying to put lands to the bottom like that one. Yep, goodbye. Don't need you right now. Alright, so is this just mono white? Alright, it's just mono white. We get to test this matchup that I had some thoughts about. Oh, interesting. So I can just go Edgewell Innkeeper into past Fae of Wishes. Kind of in for that, actually. Just having a blocker early and then looking for more interactive stuff to do. Johnny's Primate by itself is not that scary because we run a bunch of Brazen Borrowers. Lucky Clover is a really good one to have access to. So if this is Linden, the Primate can attack as a 3/3 and we just block it safely. I wonder what kind of hand this deck keeps that doesn't have a 1-drop. Yeah, Linden, no surprises there. There's the interesting question about whether we Beanstalk into Clover or Clover and wait on the Beanstalk. I think it's just Beanstalk into Clover. Definitely interested in making sure that we can cast Escape to the Wilds and then also be able to hit a 2-drop play, whether that's double Bone Crusher or double Borrower next turn. Okay, Johnny. So large Pridemates are coming in, but that's okay. We can take 1 or 2 hits from those. Also, if you find Lovestruck Beast, we can block them for a full turn, which is great. Much life gain, much power toughness. That's all fine, though. It's all fine. Block you. Just need to find a Borrower, or a Lovestruck Beast, or a Bone Crusher Giant off this escape, and we should be pretty good, in pretty good shape. Okay, yep, that was definitely inevitable. There was no way anything but that was going to happen. Let's play this Clover and see if we can dig our way out with a big Fae of Wishes next turn. Oh boy. So we're gonna have 8 mana, so we can Fae for Storm's Wrath. Storm's Wrath is gonna be way too small ball though. Birth of Meletus I don't care about. Wow, okay. Don't agree with playing that one in your mono white deck. That seems quite bad. Okay, Heliod's a big boy. Okay. So here comes some creatures. I'm going to go ahead and block the big Primate with Innkeeper here. Boy, that was a really terrible Escape to the Wilds. Missed on 12 different cards with 5 chances. Oh, right, the Linden gets big too. Okay, let's see. Are we double jumping? I think this is still single chump territory, go to 2. Still into single chump, go to 2, yeah. Keep the innkeeper around. Man, alright, this draw was terrible. Alright, how are we going to get out of this? We start here, we Fey, so Storm's Wrath kills absolutely nothing. Noted. Get Domer's Ambush, which kills nothing. I can get Shadow Spear, which doesn't do anything. I wonder if it's time to start boarding in Fog for positions like this. I've often thought about having Fog in the board. I also just cast Fae of Wishes and see if I draw into a bounce. Actually, alright, here's the plan. We're going to... I need a Fae so I have something to do in future turns, but I'm going to leave open the possibility of drawing into a Lovestruck Beast or tokens or a Brazen Borrower here. So we're going to leave all the colored men open that I can. Triple granted. Dig, dig, dig. Okay, so we're going to find... Mystic Repeal deals with Heliod, which is interesting for future turns. I'll take that, yeah. Maybe I should have left up double green so I could use Bone Crusher tokens and Mystic Repeal here. I will take Escape as well. And then... probably just... Shadow Spear for some life gain. I mean, this is all kind of a moot point if I don't find something like if I don't find a Brazen Borrower or a Lovestruck Beast, I'll die. If I find Brazen Borrower or a Lovestruck Beast, I can live through this. Alright, that's Lovestruck Beast. That is one of the things we're looking for, so let's do it. If they have removal, we're toast. If not, things remain pretty interesting. And this deck does not play a lot of removal. It probably plays some. Birth of Meletus might imply they're playing more than I think they are. So we're going to do the old quintuple chump, if we can. It's at 26, so they're not going to be able to Ajani 0 us, but that is something to watch out for. Vanishing Light does kill, though. Okay. Wow, that was super unlikely. That Escape the Wilds is still tilting me a little bit. Alright, but game 2, game 3, we find like Clover plus Brazen Borrower. They just can never win a game like that in a million years. So, yep, definitely not an Aethergust matchup still. It's possible that with Mono White and Mono Black being more popular, these should probably be something else anti-aggro, just playing some Lava Coils or Selective Snares or something like that. They have a little bit of Great Henge removal, and they're probably going to have Giant Killers for Lovestruck Beast, so I think I'm okay. Yeah, you know what, I'm in for doing the usual anti-aggro kind of 2-henge, 2-escape play. Incubation's still good. I like Incubation in matchups where it's good to find early Bone Crushers and Borrowers. Let's try this again. See if we can hit anything. Alright, this is, I just noticed there's no blue in this hand. Wow. Openers have been kind of trash today, but I think with Innkeeper plus Incubation to go find Lovestruck Beast or Bone Crusher Giant I'm in for this. Just going to keep the 7. We're going to start with an Incubation rather than an Innkeeper. And take, yep, just Bone Crusher Giant, nice and easy. Pretty likely we'll find a blue source. If we're not finding a blue source, it's pretty likely we'll find other stuff that's reasonable. Ah, Lucky Clover. Okay, so I could Lucky Clover now. Or if they play a Pridemate next turn, it's like slightly awkward to have Lucky Clover because the Pridemate's going to be a 3/3. But their other 2-drop is Daxos, and if they have a Daxos, then playing Lucky Clover is amazing right now. They could have Revoke Existence too, but I don't really care if they're spending their turn to Revoke Existencing me. Let's do this trick. We're gonna go Forest Lucky Clover, not letting on that we have anything we can hit them with, and then see what they go for on this turn. Worst case scenario, they play like a 1-drop. Okay, they could also just Birth of Meletus, which I don't care about in the slightest. I'm just like so glad that their 2-drop is an 0/4. This makes me really happy. Alright, Escape the Wilds is kind of neat. We'll just go with Stomping Ground, play Innkeeper. If they want to like Banishing Light this or something with their whole 3rd turn, that's fine. Hold up Bone Crusher. Pretty obvious what we're doing now, but I think that's fine. Heliod comes down, don't care about that one. And they're going to attack, and I'm down to just Bone Crush now. Just kill the, hit them, hit Alciad. So 0-4 wall doesn't bother me. Rip Fae of Wishes, sure. Be useful eventually. Man, these draws have been terrible. Okay, so we need blue sources or any land to cast Escape the Wilds. Anything like that is fine. Blue source to be able to double borrow is going to set them back a million years because they don't have any ramp and some of their spells are pretty expensive. Heliod's not coming online this turn. I guess they could have Linden in, or they could have 4 white pips, in which case Heliod does come online this turn. But nope, not yet. Just a big Pride Mate. So many amazing spells. Find that, okay. Land is whatever, it's fine. We're going to find a blue source off of this, very likely. Cool. Found a... All right, we found all of our blue sources. That's superb news. Another Fae of Wishes. Given that I'm going to have 2 Innkeepers in play, I'm actually kind of into that. I'll keep that on top. All right, so everything sucks a little bit right now. Just, but we're not going to die here. We're not going to be doing a lot of blocking, but we're also at a reasonably safe life total given that Brazen Borrower resets everything. Healer's Hawk, sure. Alright, so chumping Heliod here. Sure. Going to 7. And then we start casting stuff that is good. Okay, so play here is going to be start with Innkeeper. Cast Fae of Wishes, looking for a Lovestruck Beast here, but a Bone Crusher Giant would also be very good. Perfect, okay. And then we just go for a nice double bounce. We're just going to do this on their main phase before anything tricky happens. What am I getting rid of? We're just going to get rid of, I think, both of the Pride Mates here. And then I double Bone Crusher the Ajani. Is that reasonable? Yeah, so we'll hit this thing. Could hit Heliod as well. And I'll just reset the Pride Mate. Make that one a bit smaller, make that one a bit vanished. And I could shoot... Yeah, we'll just double shoot a Johnny. So we're going to have to chump block with an Innkeeper next turn. But we've got lots of cool stuff to do past that. And opponent's almost out of resources. Primate's in, Heliod is active. Alright, that's the last thing they had. More pips. Doesn't bother me too much. No removal, no interaction of any kind. Here comes the squad. Alright, so we're going to go ahead, block Heliod, block the Hawk. Drop to 2. They don't have any kind of... I mean, they have lifelink. They declined to give lifelink on the Heliod, which is interesting, but I guess it doesn't matter that much for them. Yeah, I definitely want something in the board for mono white here. What's the play here? Okay, so finding more Brazen Borrowers would be excellent. We're going to start with Innkeeper. At 2, opponent has 5 creatures that can attack next turn, all of which are going to be lethal, so we got to be careful about that. And Fae of Wishes to grab Shadow Spear, which isn't helpful yet. I think I'm priced into just casting the Fae here, huh? Not my favorite thing. Man, I really need one, just like one Lovestruck Beast gives me so much time to play around here, which is really good. Not sure I'm gonna be able to find it. Yeah, I'm just gonna Fae. We don't need to do anything, try to do anything fancy with this. We can just hit the escape next turn if we live that long. That's not great. Okay, so I can play Temple. Can't play the Stomping Ground untapped anyway, so I'm gonna play Temple here, see if I can hit a Lovestruck Beast on top. Great Henge. That one's gonna be a little slow here since I haven't managed to hit a Lovestruck Beast at all. Leave open green mana. Whoops. No, failed to leave open green mana. Darn it, auto tap her. Oh, it's my fault. I was a little lazy with the mana there. And yep, just hit some trash. So I don't like that very much, I think. Probably dead, but I'm gonna let my opponent take a turn here. Yeah, I want something on the board for these mono-white situations. Probably Fog is just good, right? Like being able to find like Fog plus once in future to get back Fog. I assume that's just excellent. Oh, interesting. So we actually get to, something gets to live here, which is nice. Can't kill the Hawk. Can I kill? I can't kill anything really. So we're just gonna quintuple chump. Yeah, just I think it's this deck we just really need to hit a Lovestruck Beast from top half of our deck somewhere, and we have not managed it yet. But we have outs. Okay, that's a good start. So we're gonna look for something like a combination of Borrower plus Lovestruck Beast to get us through the next turn. Yeah, that does work. So still hanging on by the skin of our teeth here. Let's tap some red mana. Another Lovestruck Beast would also be fantastic. Oh goodness, that was horrible. Wow. All right. Yeah, just not finding anything today, and we can triple Lovestruck off the Clovers, but that's not gonna do it, unfortunately, because we just die in the air. All right, we're dead. Ouch. Hey there, Incarcerated Genesis. Good to see you. We just got some really messed up draws against that white weenie deck. And I think this matchup is probably fine. I think we just really need to find more interactive spells early and not get so flooded on lands. But let's play with the sideboard a little bit. I think Ether Gust is no longer necessary. Nobody's playing Gruul anymore. At least, let's put in something that's going to be better. Actually, I'm kind of interested in this Fog package. Let's try that out. Prevent, combat. Yeah, so pause for reflection. I want one of those in the board. Let's go for the full wish board for fun. Cut the Ether Gust down to 1 copy, and then what else is reasonable against the mono white deck? Selective Snare might be fine. Blood of Tears could be pretty good. Mass Manipulation's a little slow. Let's see. Probably want something a little cheaper than that, right? What else would work? Could just get double Fog. Yeah, Healed's Intervention would be great in Incarcerated Genesis, I agree with that. Or just any Wrath effect, but I respect that Temur is a color combination I have chosen, and I am not going to get Wraths as a result of that. So it goes. Crown War has been like good twice, but I actually think it's probably just way too cute. I shouldn't be doing that. Selective Snare. It's good against a bunch of cats, but I think their deck does not have an overwhelming abundance of other like combined creature types that are convenient in that way. Yeah, Pause for Reflection would have probably won us that second game. It's a good thing to remember. Well, given we don't have much else that seems super appealing for the sideboard, there's the question of just putting in a couple things we can board in normal games. What might it be? There's something about the idea of having like Tameo as something that can do an engine, like a more of an engine with Pause for Reflection, like you can get it back multiple times maybe. I think Tameo is just really slow. All right, let's just throw in a couple more Return to Nature. Case of Doom Foretold decks and that sort of thing. Pretty okay with that. Yeah, we'll see. We'll probably get more inspired as we go on, but I do think having Pause for Reflection is going to help a lot in that kind of matchup. Ugh. All right, so day late, dollar short on both of those games, but let's fire it up. See if we can queue into blue white or green ramp or Something like that would be cool. Or more mono white. Like, I should be testing this against actual good ladder decks. Man! 27 lands later. Alright, we'll keep that. That's pretty good. And Innkeeper early. Dump a Fae of Wishes. This is definitely a hand where we to start with Innkeeper, because if I draw an island or another kind of untapped blue source, there's a good chance I'm just want to cast Fae of Wishes immediately and draw my cards and just kind of get back up to speed. It's mono black again, Rakdos. Wonder where we're up to. Okay, that's fine. Play this out. Great Henge. Not yet, not yet. Slovestruck here. We play a Fen Lurker, it's mildly annoying, but I think we'll just get rid of Brazen Borrower at that point, because bouncing's not going to do a lot. Fervent Champion's fine. Interesting. So there's always the temptation to double block the champion here and just trade Innkeeper for it, and just like slow them down enough. But given that we're only taking 3 and I would like to draw a card off the Livestruck Beast, I think I'm down to no block. Okay, sure. So now we're just gonna... We have the option to go with token, or just play... I'll just play the 5/5. If they attack again with a naked champion and they're threatening Blacklands Paragon, I can just double block with Innkeeper 1/1. And this lets me take out the Knight of the Abbot Legion, which is great. And now if they go for a Regisaur, we can just deal with that pretty easily. Sure, murders the Lovestruck Beast. I'm just going to take another 3, which seems fine. They're not pumping the Knight yet. Gonna say no blocks again. Love to get a 4th land. Brazen Borrower is not awful, though. I think this is just going to be Clover into double Lovestruck, so I can double Borrower the next couple turns here. And this way I can also just double lock the Knight and force them to spend all their mana pumping if they want to get it through. They could, of course, have Ember Cleave. That's a thing that could happen. But given that I have double Brazen Borrower, I'm not that concerned about Ember Cleave. I have enough life to be okay with that. Stormfist Crusader, sure. It's nice of them to play all their spells pre-combat. I don't mind that. Wow, alright, they're just totally willing to give up the Knight of the Ebon Legion. The question is, do I double block the champion, save a token, or do I double block the Knight to take that out? Down to double block champion, I think. Trading 1 for 1 instead of 2 for 1 seems good. Alright, and... So they are missing the double red for Embercleave. I would really love to just cast the Slovestruck Beast and try to find double blue. Just playing a single double Borrower this turn does not appeal very much. Yeah, I think we have time to do a 5/5 once. Get another Innkeeper. Alright, I don't think, given that it's likely I'm going to have some spare mana floating around next turn anyway, I don't feel like casting that one just yet. Okay, Beanstalk Giant's great. Can definitely survive an Embercleave. Beanstalk Giant means that there's a decent chance we're going to have like double Borrower available next turn. Okay, Embercleave incoming. Let's do this. So blocks are going to be... Blocks are actually pretty easy here, right? Just block, block, double block. At worst, they get to cleave, like... Yeah, this seems totally fine. There's no particularly threatening cleave play they could go for it. If they pump the Knight, I don't really care. Okay, Blacklands Paragon is still fine. They can't do that and cleave. So we just trade off our boards? Okay. Yep. Great. Sounds good. Okay, and that's a Bonecrusher Giant to finish off all their stuff, so that should be a pretty easy game for us. Alright, we're going to get double Island off this Beanstalk Giant. And then Innkeeper double Borrower. See, these are the routines and rhythms that I'm more used to. I also don't really understand how anyone plays Rakdos Knights. It seems like the mono white deck is just a lot better. Much more impressive, but each their own, as always. And throw down an Innkeeper. And double bounce beginning of combat before they can get an Embercleave down is the plan. We should have pretty much every possible card they could ever play covered at this point. Bone Crusher, Giant, and Edgewell, and Keeper is mildly unfortunate, but that's life. Sure. Resolves. We have plenty of gas in hand, and in combination with Fae Wishes should be absolutely fine. Bounce these two. There was an argument for not playing out the Innkeeper there. I think we're just going to have a ton of uses for mana, and it seemed fine. I didn't really count to think about how our available mana is going to land up next turn. Alright, and they do the thing where they play 2 creatures, which means they get to Bone Crusher both of them, which means you're just gonna have nothing going on next turn. Cool. And Great Hand is a neat one. Huh. Pretty sure this is just double Bone Crusher, double Fae here. Grab Chandra with one of those. Getting down Great Hand as soon as possible is another thought, but they might just scoop to this anyway. Okay, that makes my decisions easier. If I had Fade, I was probably just going to get like Chandra plus Gomer's Ambush or something like that, something cheap. Okay, so now that we've swapped our sideboard around a whole lot, definitely don't want Return to Nature. Ember Cleave is not good enough to justify that. Not being able to board an Ether Guts anymore against this deck's a little disappointing, but I also think our natural matchup with them is pretty strong anyway. Don't really want the main deck Storm's Wrath. I'd rather have that available to wish for, I'm pretty sure. Although, is my Wish just going to be for like Ether Gust plus... Now that I have Pause for Reflection as a really good wish target, I might actually be down for just putting the Storm's Wrath in the main deck. It admittedly doesn't kill Regisaur, but it's also just like not a card they're likely to expect. As usual, down for cutting Escape, bringing a Henge in this matchup. I think I'm not going to do the main deck Storm's Wrath, but it's a close call. Turn 2 Clover, turn 3 Bone Crusher. Okay. Bone Crusher's pretty good. We could get Drill Bitted off of our Bone Crusher and be really, really sad if that happens, but I think this hand is a little too potent to throw away. It is a little awkward that all of our lands are either tapped or deal us damage, but I like Incubation. That'll be pretty good with Lucky Clover later. Okay, second champion. Let's see if we get Drill Bitted and Cry. Okay, just another 90. Okay. That is a really good aggressive start from them. Are we dead? They have a third land to pump the night. I'm pretty sure we just die, but we could also find maybe... actually, Lovestruck Beast gets us out of that pretty easily, if that's all they have next turn. But this is their best possible start, so we might be in trouble on the draw. Going to 4 here off the pump. Yep, alright, so we need a Lovestruck Beast, I think, or we die. I guess Innkeeper can also chump. Another Bone Crusher. Let's see, if I Incubation and then hit Brazen Bar, where can I live? Technically I can, yes. So we're gonna try that. I think it's hopeless. I do not think this is actually gonna work, but we'll give the old college try. Okay, we missed, so we're dead now. All right, let's try again on the not have them having that start. Whew. Pretty funny how even Storm's Wrath would have been like considerably too slow to save us in that game. Oh, aggro decks. It's definitely tempting just to do something like that. Yeah, happy with the main. Crossrage Genesis, that was a possible thing that could have happened. Glad they didn't do it. And is okay, yeah, this is a much better hand than last time, and we have it on the play. Which is great. Worst case scenario, they like kill Lucky Clover. Still don't love how painful all these lands are, but normally it doesn't matter, right? There's not that much aggro on the ladder. We're just running into all of it today. The rest is fine, I don't really care. You can take my Lucky Clover, and I'm just going to keep a bunch of 2-for-1s in my hand. Thank you very much. Yeah, Duress is not a good card against this deck. I do not advise bringing it in, even if it lets you hit Lucky Clover. Just play a card that can kill Lucky Clover and is also a spell. You can't kill Lucky Clover with it. Double Ebon Legion, sure, whatever. Don't really care about those. I'm just going to play Lovestruck Beast this turn. Yeah. They want to spend their whole turn pumping a knight to be able to kill Lovestruck Beast so that I can then kill their other knight with Bonecrusher Giant. That is fine. At this point, we're just waiting for a source of card advantage. I guess if they have Register, I don't have a way to deal with that yet, but I think it's fine. Okay, it's their whole turn, sure. Here's Fae of Wishes, that's great, that's really good. Okay, so we just do this. We Beanstalk, making sure to leave up some red mana, perfect. Grab an island, Bone Crusher the Knight of the Avid Legion before they can pump it. And might as well attack, we're not blocking anything, they could play that as haste. Sure. That is a 1-1. Can block that one pretty well. 2-1. I can also block that one pretty well. Another 2-1. I can block that one. Wow. Why is that some very one-drop heavy starts? Okay, so this is just Fae of Wishes, and what am I getting here? Just Storm's Wrath, probably? Yeah, hard to imagine it is anything but Storm's Wrath here. And then I'll just play Fae of Wishes, and worst case scenario, they can drop an Embercleave next turn, but that's not going to do nearly enough damage to matter. And I just kill all their creatures. And they would also need another red source, which would leave them with one card in hand post Embercleave. That does appear to be what's happening. Okay. Block you and you, I suppose. Prevent maximum damage. Okay, they might have also just been bluffing Embercleave, and now they're going to play a Rotting Regisaur or something, but then I just play a 7/7 Beanstalk Giant. Oh, it's just that. Okay. Sure. Interesting to see they didn't get back either copy of Gutter Bones. Interesting and weird. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess the last card in their hand could be Murderous Rider. That's like the only thing I can think of, but here's a 7/7. Show me they got it. And show me that you can deal with the 4/3s after that. Could also be Regisaur, I suppose. Nope, just Gutter Bones. Alright. I don't know why they're not... Okay, so they're just trying to Castle Lock throwing their way out of this now. Makes sense. Just gonna attack first. Let's see. So there's no chance I go Bone Crusher into Stomp into double Bone Crusher, so I might as well start with Innkeeper into Bone Crusher and then attack and see what happens. This gives up some information, but also gives me the chance to draw a land and possibly have more damage off of the Beanstalk Giant if they do not block it, which I think is worth it. I think that adds up to being fine. Okay, Lovestruck's a good one. Let's attack Beanstalk here. And with Storm's Wrath, they're going to need to find something to get rid of this real quick. Or they block with Fervent Champion, that's okay. Don't mind seeing that at all. And I'm just going to cast Lovestruck Beast, I think, now. It's, I don't think it's worth spending a bunch of time getting the extra 1/1 when I can just play this and draw a card off it immediately. And if the opponent could answer Edgewell Innkeeper and then stop me from being able to attack with Lovestruck Beast, but that means they're not killing Beanstalk Giant, and they certainly can't kill 2 creatures from this position. Okay. Red-black remains probably a pretty good matchup. It's just like their cards are not quite powerful enough on average. Alright, let's do a nice mid-range slugfest matchup where I'm doing fun Fae of Wishes things instead of fun Bone Crusher Giant things. I would enjoy that. And then, depending on how I'm feeling about Temur Clover after this match, I might also try some new stuff. I definitely want to be playing some of the new decks because I want to find whatever the best thing is for the end of your tournament. I'm no longer playing for memes. I got a 9-2 record in the last MCQ, so I have a bunch of mythic points. Hey, thanks for the follow there, Lightning TP. Good to see ya. Anyway, yeah, I'm looking for mythic points now, so Yeah, actually, yeah. Probably after this match, I think no matter what happens, I will give chat the chance to choose what I play next. I have a few decks, that is, that I think are interesting that folks can choose from. Definitely keeping this hand. It's got a Clover. It's got a Scryland that can help you find a red mana or a Beanstalk Giant. It's got Lovestruck Beast for early defense in case it's aggro. What more could a person ask for? Yep, just gonna start with Temple of Mystery here. Perfect. Love seeing a red source there. So my third turn, unless they do something about Lucky Clover, is going to involve casting 2 Shocks and 2 1/1s. It looks like they might just be Gruul with a terribly slow start. And I am here for it. Oh no. Temur Reclamation, maybe? Temur with Klothys. Alright. Alright, I am open to whatever this is, I guess. I don't know what's going on, but I'm curious to find out. Let's, don't really... I could hold up Double Bone Crusher to kill whatever, like, Questing Beast type thing they play this turn, but I think I'm down to just generate 4 power off of Lovestruck Beasts. That's what they're playing. They could be Temur Reclamation, in which case I guess if they're playing Temur Reclamation, I could get punished pretty hard if they just Storm's Wrath all my 1/1s, then I can't attack with Lovestruck Beasts anymore. Huh. I can even just play a naked Lovestruck Beast and then make tokens and attack with it next turn. There are so many fun lines. I'm just going to do the double hold-up Bone Crusher play. If they do turn out to be just like Temur Reclamation, then shocking them twice is not the worst way to spend these 2 mana. Play them to 14. And there's some chance they play a creature here. Yeah. Soul C159, if you mean the metagame event, I did actually play it to start the stream and lost immediately to Mono Black after some tough luck in game 3. Also, Mono Black might just be a genuinely bad matchup for Temur Clover. Decks that don't attack us are hard if they're not control decks. But just laddering right now, trying to find the stiffest competition I can in advance of the end of month tournament, because I really do want some mythic points. I want to figure out whether Temur is good enough to play. Alright, so it is just Wilderness Reclamation, sure. Double Stomp, and then Double Fae of Wishes is going to let us find a bunch of answers to Wilderness Reclamation, so they shouldn't be able to hold that one and play very easily, but we'll see. Maybe they'll find a way to just destroy us next turn with something fun. Attack first, see what happens. So I assume this deck is probably running a bunch of copies of Storm's Wrath, and then probably Brazen Borrowers and Gadwicks and stuff. Yeah. I will admit in Incarcerated Genesis that it wasn't so much top deck Gary as it was just there was no time in any of those games when I wasn't going to die to Gary. Soul C, good work. Good luck. Good work with the 7-0. I agree. Dream Trawler is a very good card. I've had to adjust the sideboard of this deck considerably to be able to handle it. And I think the deck that I am most excited about trying out is one of my teammate is a Bant ramp deck. My teammate built just has 4 Dream Trawlers in addition to the usual Crisis Nissa stuff. Okay, what do I go for here? Love Cheap Enchantment Removal, definitely taking Mystic Repeal. And what else? Could be Return to Nature. I think it's just Return to Nature also. Just if they don't ever have a Wilderness Reclamation on the battlefield, then they just can't win. So I'm pretty happy with just these choices. It's also nice they don't have double blue for Thassa's Intervention, in case that was a thing they were doing. Maybe they're old school with Chemisters instead, I guess we'll find out. And the nice thing about Mystic Repeal is that it doubles as Klothys removal. This card might be too narrow to play, but it is nice to have like a 1-mana interactive spell that actually has targets against pretty much every deck now. That was a really good sideboard addition from Theros. Okay. Yep. So big Expansion Explosion could refuel their hand and make things interesting. I guess they could also just Nissa me or something. Nope. Okay, so it looks like Expansion Explosion is coming down, and they're going to be able to get 6 cards off that. So not a bad combination on the whole, but still feeling pretty comfortable. Sure. I'd like some more lands at some point. Alright, so what am I doing this turn? I could just be cast Lovestruck Beast and use Mystic Repeal and try to get them to the point where we can actually kill them. Klothys is a little annoying. I could also Mystic Repeal Klothys, kill Wilderness Reclamation. I like the idea of being able to attack with Lovestruck Beast next turn. Let's do that. Cast Lovestruck Beast. Swing in. Ideally, I'd be able to just cast Return to Nature on the Wilderness Reclamation here, but I don't think we're living in that kind of world here. Yeah, we're just going to get this off the board before they are able to counter anything we can do here. Both this is annoying, but does not keep up with Lovestruck Beast, but having missed that land drop, I think we're definitely somewhat behind here. I do like that we have 3 Return to Nature we can bring in. Raw Storm Conduit. All right, the fact that that is not Wilderness Reclamation is superb news for us. It's also not Storm's Wrath. Is it double shock? Maybe double Brazen Borrower? Double Stomp? What's going on with this? Double Brazen Borrower on the tokens. Interesting. That does not seem like a very good play. But I guess they don't know how, I mean, yeah, they probably don't know this deck too well, but the way that we've played this pattern of play heavily implies more 1/1s. Ew. Okay. Well, still not finding lands, but I'm going to play a Clover this turn for sure. And then 1 copy of Edgewell Innkeeper and a double Lovestruck Beast, and then question is, do I kill Rawl, or do I go after my opponent's life total? I'm just going to kill Rawl here. I don't think they're going to die anytime soon. We are at 8, which is notable, but they would need to get another Wilderness Reclamation before he could possibly die to something like Expansion Explosion. Just be on the lookout for the Brazen Borrowers coming out, though. Clothis is very good. I think there's eventually going to be a good Clothis deck in a high tier of this format somewhere. It's just this effect happening every turn for 3 mana is insane, and it also does more stuff on top of that. Yeah, so we'll see if 1/5. I'm not surprised to see Wilderness Reclamation. I'm a little surprised to see the Clothis tech, but I think Clothis is good, so it's not that surprising. And it is certainly the case that Wilderness Reclamation has been being played a lot by some big-time streamers lately. Deck's not that scary when we're hitting our land drops, but it can be tough to deal with on ouch. Wow, alright. That was an insanely bold play by the opponent, but I kind of appreciate it. Like, if they have another one, or a Bone Crusher Giant, we're just going to die, and there's nothing I can do about it. So, interesting. So can I return to nature to counter this Clothis trigger? If I can return to nature to counter this Clothis trigger, I think that's actually the play, which is hilarious. Kind of love it. Yeah, okay. Can't. If I had been hitting land drops, I could just Fae Wishes for fling and kill them right now, but I haven't, so I can't, so I'm going to do this instead. And yeah, see if I can just counter the Clothis ability with this trigger. We'll see if it works. Feels better to not even bother playing a Clover out and just go ahead and try to make sure we don't get quenched. Quench is a card they could be playing, I guess. They do have multiple targets, so I can't just get rid of the only target in their main phase. I could play Fae of Wishes for like a little extra damage. Plausibly, that's a thing worth doing. I don't know if they have another way to gain life, though. I guess I draw a card off playing Fae of Wishes. Okay, that probably makes it worth it. I'll take my card. Yeah, I don't think they really have Quench in their deck. Play that out. And then in response to the Clothis ability, we're just going to hold full control to make sure that works. They're going to exile this, and we are going to exile it in response. Let's see if this works. This, I assume, is the one that they're targeting. Got the counter. We lose to a counter, but okay. So, cool. We didn't take damage. We're not dead to Bone Crusher anymore. We're dead to the 3rd Expansion Explosion. But there wasn't anything we could have done about that. If they try to Storm's Wrath the board here. Opt is promised. Oh, man, they opt and they topped? Please be Storm's Wrath. Please have just kept a Storm's Wrath here. Don't Explosion me again. Uro. Uro is totally fine. Okay, that seems excellent if they're not about to play Wilderness Reclamation. If they just cast Uro, do we win? If they they can't cast Uro. They're not even close to having the number of cards in the graveyard they would need for that. If they cast Storm's Wrath, We don't win immediately, but we have some outs. Oh, come on. Okay. Well, is this all just a setup for a really big expansion explosion? Okay, more ops, sure. Getting Lovestruck Beast bounced would be bad, but they burned through a bunch of Brazen Borrowers. They continue to bottom. Alright, we're definitely out of explosion range now. Okay. I guess they could have Flame Sweep? Flame Sweep would stop Lovestruck Beast pretty well. Soulsea, I do agree that Clothes Neuro is a non-bow. Both those cards are powerful enough that it might actually be worth playing both of them anyway. But they do really quite heavily counteract each other to the point where normally things being non-bows is not like a reason not to do it if the cards are great, but in this case they do seem pretty non-bowish. Boss's Intervention digging for what? I guess just Brazen Borrower? Alright, well, land is great. Okay, and they're just dead. Yep, even with new cards. Even with new cards, Wilderness Reclamation continues to not impress. We might have just disconnected. Let's see what happens. Nope, okay. Alright, so we actually have a sideboard for this, which is super thrilling. Love it. So we used to sideboard out Lovestruck Beasts against this deck because they had a bunch of Flame Sweeps. If they have a bunch of Storm's Wraths and they can't stop Lovestruck Beasts from attacking at instant speed, I think it's actually correct just to keep the Beasts in. I like the Great Henge for sure. We'll keep one Escape to tutor for. Bring in some Return to Natures, and then what am I cutting? Brazen Borrower is bad against much of their deck, but is very good against... I mean, it stalls Wilderness Reclamation for a turn, which is often worth it in and of itself. I think I just cut a couple Bonecrusher Giants. Bonecrusher Giant used to be a card you would keep in because they just couldn't kill it very easily. But now they're playing Storm's Wrath, I assume. I'm pretty okay just cutting that. I'm going to cut Incubation because we're going a little bit lower in creature count. Okay with keeping Innkeep around. Let's just do this. I think I'm down to still have 2 pieces of enchantment removal that I can wish for. I could just do Ether Gust in the main, actually. That seems kind of nice. But I might also want to grab this, stop Niv Mizzet. I have other ways to stop Niv Mizzet. Let's play one of these over... I think 1 Fae of Wishes. I think having 4 is a little bit too clumsy. I don't think you usually want to keep 4 in the deck unless you're up against a hard control deck with no clock, or against a deck where playing the 1/4 out really matters, like aggro. Down to side 1 out here. Since the most likely thing I'm going to be wishing for is stuff that removes enchantments, and I have that. This is definitely a keep. Just the fact that it has Lovestruck Beast into Great Henge, plus some other interaction, is certainly worth keeping for. How likely is I'm going to want to borrow something on turn 2? The likelihood, I think, is 0, so I'm just going to get this token down. Just making tokens in each of the first 2 turns actually does give me something resembling a clock, which is cool. Yeah, Incarcerated Geneticist, I don't think they have... I wouldn't say I would be very surprised if they had multiple copies of Niv, but I wouldn't be surprised if they had a copy or 2 lurking in their sideboard somewhere for decks that they think are going to take out creature removal post-board. It's just common enough as a Temur Reclamation thing that I want to be vaguely aware of it. But we have plenty of removal for Niv out of the board anyway, so I think it's fine. Sure, you can arrow. No problem with that. 1 red source. Cool. The fact that we're drawing this land means I can just curve Lovestruck Beast into Great Henge very nicely. They might have artifact removal, but still powerful enough to be worth a try. If they Wilderness Reclamation and don't do any removal type things, then there's a world where I don't do that and just try to be aggro instead, given that I have 7 power on the board. Let's Question thing is if they have a Brazen Borrower and they decide to bounce Lovestruck Beast, then I could end up regretting my decision not to put the Great Henge pre-combat. I think it's likely that I just want to Brazen Borrower this thing anyway, because they could just Thassa's Intervention my Great Henge. I'd rather not be able to just keep Wilderness Reclamation on the board that easily, so let's attack. Hello, MTG Jesus, or is it MT Jesus? However you pronounce that. Good to see you on the stream. Okay, so we hit him, that's fine. Got a couple options here. I think I like Beanstalk Giant into Brazen Borrower the Wilderness Reclamation here. There are a bunch of options, as is often the case with this deck. Yeah, let's rock the Beanstalk Giant play. They have Thassa's Intervention, I feel a little silly, but I'd rather they intervention this than intervention the Henge. Cool, got that going, and now we're definitely not going to try and borrow them here. We're just going to wait till their upkeep, make sure they have less information when they go for this Scry. Cool, go ahead and Scry, have fun with that. Empty Jesus. This is, I mean, there are definitely updates to the Wishboard from Theros. The main deck is the same because there were no Theros cards that were good enough to be in the main deck. The main deck was pretty solidly locked down. Yeah, in Incarcerated Genesis, I agree in most cases it would be, depending on what's in their hand, and if they're like, let's say, just have an inkling that I might be able to bounce or remove their Wilderness Reclamation in some way. Wait, what? Okay, I'm just realizing that I let them untap, which I shouldn't have done. I needed to set an end stop there because I was not paying enough attention. Oh well, worked out fine. Everything is fine. So the good news is if they cast Wilderness Reclamation, they're probably not going to have any instant speed ways to stop Lovestruck Beast from attacking beyond like Brazen Borrowing it. And they're under a lot of pressure here. Finding Lucky Clover at this point is great because it gives us access to more copies of Stomp, which I love. Here I'm definitely just going to drop Great Henge immediately before they have the chance to Brazen Borrow or anything in the combat step. Sure, that worked. Cool. Let's attack then. Go right in. Having the third Lovestruck Beast to make a 1/1 is excellent. Okay. Alright, lots of 5/5s and 6/6s coming at you. Let's just see if their interaction lines up with this at all. Gadwick could be a thing that would be pretty strong. Huh, there's a question. I should have templed before I cast that spell, by the way. That was wrong of me. There was no reason not to temple there. Okay, well, would have bottomed to land either way. Yeah, I just can't ever see myself playing a Wilderness Reclamation deck. If I did, I would probably do what Crokies did and just play Nissa in it instead. I just think this card is just... it's just too bad. It forces you to play a deck that just can't interact in very strong ways against just normal creature decks. Obviously, Temur Reclamation has a solid pedigree of like doing reasonable things to people, but I just kind of hate it. Okay, Double Explosion is cool, but they actually have to kill tokens? They have to kill one token, and then if they can't kill... so they must have like Brazen Borrower or some way to get rid of... oh no, okay, they're Double Explosioning the tokens and then pinging me with Raw. I see. Alright, so now drawing Edgewell Innkeeper is amazing. Drawing Beanstalk Giant. Oh wait, they untapped their lands to do that, so now I just killed them. Okay, I thought they still had lands to untap. That was my bad. Alright, they're dead. Yeah, MTG's Mono White seems really impressive. I would not be surprised if that deck was just solid tier 1, stays tier 1 forever. And okay, so I continue to like Temur Clover a lot. Let me try playing something a little different for one or two matches on the stream here. I should be, I mean, I love Temur Clover. I love it very much. I've had a great record with it this season, but I should be testing other stuff as well. All right, so, all right, chat, this is your chance. My inclination is to play... wait for the deck page to load. My inclination is to try out Yeoman 5's Bant Ramp. Yeoman is my teammate. Great deck builder. And I like the look of this deck, despite Arboreal Grazer, which is my least favorite card in Standard, possibly. I think the rest of the deck is pretty cool. It's got a... here, let's put the right card in the box there. It's got Dream Trawlers, it's got Nissus, it's got Hydra Crises, it's got 4 Wolfwillow Haven, 4 Growth Spiral, which is a really excellent package. It's got a little bit of interaction. I don't know about these Dryads at the Elysian Grove, but I'm curious to try this out and see how it goes, so we could do that. Another deck I'm pretty interested in playing is just this Green-White Boggles. I like the look of this deck a lot. I think... I'm not sure what the creature build should be yet. I kind of have been playing around with different lists that people have made. The kind of correct 2-drop distribution is a tough thing to figure out, but I am interested in this kind of archetype. It has that good Edgewell Innkeeper feeling of drawing a bunch of cards while you're doing a bunch of small things. I Incarcerated, were you talking about Bant Ramp or Bogles? I was trying some Cyborg Mantle Wolf just because I like this card a lot, and it seems thematic. I don't know if it's actually good. So there's that. And then as far as other stuff I'd be willing to play. I also have heard that Grixis is pretty good. I watched somebody stream this deck for a while and win a whole bunch of matches with it. So I would be sort of willing to do Grixis. It's probably my least favorite of these three, but if y'all are Grixis lovers, I should at some point learn how to run polls on Twitch. That would be useful. So, anybody have strong preferences between Bant Ramp, Green-White Pants, and Grixis? Thanks for clarifying, Incarcerated Geneticist. Anybody have a preference between any of these? All right, going once, going twice. Let's play some stupid Nissa Ramp. Pretty sure that some kind of Nissa deck is going to be the best deck in the format. Oh, we have one vote for Grixis. One vote for Bant. Change the stream title real quick. I'm in 5, right? That's the guy's name. Yeah, you own 5. Honestly, just Bant. All right, let's dig into some Bant here. It might be that I got really bored of playing this after one match and go back doing something else. Because those of you who have been following me for a long time may know that the first deck that really got me to #1 on the arena ladder and sort of made me a person whose name some people knew was Blue-Green Mass Manipulation, the original Nissa deck. I even played it before Nissa was legal, when all we had to play was Vivian Reed as our Planeswalker. So I'm very used to this kind of blue-green ramp pattern where you're just like hoping nothing bad happens for the first couple turns, then crushing people late. I do love playing decks like that, but I can feel a bit stale sometimes now that it's been like a year of that kind of thing being good. Almost a year. Solcy, yeah, I definitely have seen the green-white deck in action. Crushed it really hard with Temur Clover, but that's because they happen to be uniquely weak to multiple copies of Brazen Borrower. Otherwise, the deck has seemed pretty sweet. And Jeff Hogan likes it, which is a good sign. I think Jeff and I have pretty similar views on a lot of decks. Yeah, Incarcerated Genesis, Nissa, we're gonna miss. It's gonna be funny when Nissa leaves. People may stop respecting Ramp. Be cool, but I'm gonna miss her a lot. Even if she kind of ruined a lot of games. She wouldn't be where I am without her. Okay, this hand. 3-color ramp decks with a bunch of basics, everybody. I don't think we can keep this. It's way too reliant on finding blue mana, and we don't have a lot of ways to find blue mana. This seems more promising. I'm going to keep this. So I think we dump Wolf Willowhaven here. Just hope to get a reasonable mix of ramp of threats from there. Okay, turn 4 Nissa, turn 5 Dream Trawler, maybe turn 4 Dream Trawler, if things line up correctly. Isn't the worst. But you can see how Temur Clover is just like more exciting to play than this in a lot of ways. It's like Temur Clover, I'd have like lots of different cards, would give me interesting decisions to make versus just yep, I can see how this game's gonna go as we think about it. I'm gonna start with Breeding Pool Tap so I don't have to take damage off it, given that my turn 2 is gonna be Wolf Willowhaven and my turn 3 is probably gonna be Dryad. I don't see a need to do Fabled Passage yet. Runaway Steamkin, okay, well. I love Banishing Light. Banishing Light is excellent here. Means I'm not just going to die immediately to an Anax or something like that. And if we live to cast Dream Trawler, that should probably go pretty well for us. We'll just see if that happens. Really wish Dryad were something else right now. I continue to be sort of suspicious of this card. Alright, being able to cast Nissa early is nice. Let's just do this. Breeding Pool. Yep, I'm definitely going to keep the land that lets me cast Dream Trawler after I fetch the other planes with this Fabled Passage. Is that next turn that's happening? No, not next turn. That's going to happen the turn after. So we'll keep that. And just banish one of the Steamkins. When it's missing land drops, let's not let them get this thing up to 3 counters. I kind of want to play 2 Dryad and 4 copies of this card. Just having like general removal is really nice. But 4 of this and 4 tough might be too much. And I guess normally we're going to have a lot of lands in hand. I don't know. All right, so we get beaten down a little bit. That's fine. Just going to go with this. In case we draw a basic next turn, I'm not going to bother taking damage off the breeding pool here. Well, I'm realizing now that I probably punted, in that if I had put the Wolfwillow Haven in the breeding pool, I could have used Nissa to untap and make 3 mana, and then just played Dryad off of the extra mana. So that's my bad. Definitely a mistake there, I think. Not used to playing Wolfwillow Haven with my Nissas yet, but I'm looking forward to learning how. Looking forward to learning how that works. Yeah, Geneticist, Dryad is a big Arboreal Grazer, and I do not like Arboreal Grazer. So this may not be a 4-of for long, but if opponent keeps being stuck on 2 lands, I'm pretty happy with how things are going. Yeah, I think you're supposed to swing a Steamkin there, but I don't know what else is going on in my opponent's hand. Interesting. Do I attack with this Temple before I do other stuff? I can play Breeding Pool, which is going to give me access to 7 mana, which means I can Dream Trawler, untap something, and play Dryad, but I'm not going to be able to play Growth Spiral, even if I keep the Temple Mystery completely safe. Let's attack first. I'm super happy trading Temple for anything they have on board. Okay, makes sense that they wouldn't block there, given they didn't want to try trading Steamkin for Temple last turn. So, yep, just gonna throw down Dream Trawler. This does not fall off the land as untapped and turned into a creature. Good, good. I guess I could, yeah, I don't even think I want to play Dryad. I think I just want to not take 2 damage off this breeding pool and turn it into an untapped 3/3. And just use the Dryad as Dream Trawler fodder. We needed to throw away something, and a 2/4 just doesn't seem that impressive here. Okay, do that. Untap this. Growth Spiral being able to pump Dream Trawler instant speed is an interesting interaction, worth noting. So they could have something like Embercleave this turn. It would be easy to lose Dream Trawler to an Embercleave if we're not careful. Some combination of Embercleave plus Infuriate could easily just murder me here. But we'll see if that actually happens. Okay. Alright, so this is definitely looking Embercleave-ish to me. Question is if they have an Infuriate as well. Oh, never mind. I guess it's not Embercleave. Okay, sure. You have hit me with your Tin Street Dodger. This is probably light up the stage, and the triple Steamkin draws definitely do make light up the stage look pretty good, but if they don't have Embercleave, I think we're just going to be too big for them anyway. We'll see, though. There's the Infuriate. Okay. Nice that we at least get to see that one coming. So they should just get to play out their whole hand, which only had 2 lands, so we'll see what else is in it now. Anax, alright, that's a good card. Very good card. Love to be able to bounce that one before it can start attacking with Embercleave backup. What else you got? It really feels like they would have played Embercleave if they had it. Okay. There's no number of dorks they could have that would scare me if they don't have Embercleave. Alright, sweet. Okay. So, pretty reasonable in the end, but Dream Trawler is a really good card, and they're going to need to do something about it. I could hold this and play it next turn for extra life, but I think it's just better to cast it out now. Do I actually put this island onto the battlefield? No. I'm gonna wait. You need to... Actually, may not need to keep Dream Trawler Charter at this point, because Dream Trawler is not going to be blocking much. Let's see. So, if I send in creatures to attack, they have Runaway Steamkin for a free block, so I don't think I'm very interested in that. Just start by attacking with the Trawler. Wait, Robber the Rich has reach. How did I forget? I don't think I've ever seen a Robber of the Rich block a flying creature before. That is not something I've ever seen. And now they're going to use Infuriate to kill my Dream Trawler? I guess. Wow. Got completely debated. Hey, did any of you know that Robber the Reach had reach? What the hell? That's really funny, actually. Goodness. Really, who knew? Okay. I mean, sure. I guess I was punished for not holding back that growth spiral, huh? What a bizarre thing. Actually, I think my opponent stacked that wrong. They wanted to put the Infuriate on the Robber that was going to die so they get an extra token off it. Yeah, I mean, I'm ready for it in Limited Incarcerated Nest. It's just like this particular card, when I've just like never been in a position where I have a flying creature and I'm attacking my opponent's creature that has, yeah, it's just not a thing. Oh, no. Ah, Nissa. All right, well, so you're seeing me play very badly now because I'm not used to playing this card anymore at all. Why in the world would you auto-tap the one that was a creature? It's because I'm putting the Wolf Haven on this untapped land. Oh, well, whatever. All right. So obviously got kind of debated there. I could play this and lose 2 life to make a token off this right now, which I think I'm going to do. That seems clearly worthwhile. Ouch. Ouch. All right, so we're going to tap very carefully and manually here. Sack the Haven. Yes, and I'm not going to bother to play out this other land yet, because I might want it for a future Dream Trawler or something like that. So we're going to take a bunch of damage here. Anax is looking really strong. But if we don't get Ember Cleaved, I think we can weather the storm. Would definitely help if this were untapped. Maybe they've drawn their 3rd land this turn. Maybe they just finally hit a land. I don't think they did. Don't think they did. Okay, that's reasonable. As far as like stuff we can deal with goes, I think that's the thing we can deal with. Everybody's coming in, sure. They hit nothing off our deck. Thanks for getting rid of that land. Appreciate you, opponent. What are we blocking? Definitely Anax is getting blocked. Hey, thanks for the host, Bloody. Excellent. Yo, Bloody, how's it going? We are, unsurprisingly, having some trouble with this 2-land mono-red draw. I don't love what's going on here. I think we block... Man, I would love to get rid of one of these Steamkins, but I think it's more important for my creatures to live. Block you, block one of the things that can be unblockable later. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Taking 10? I think that's fine. I think it's fine to take 10. Just need a Crisis. Just need one little Crisis. Many Anax triggers, though. You'll make a wolf with Wolf Haven could be pretty key here. Ouch. Especially with that draw. Alright, so... play this out. Tap. Wait, why does this make 3 mana? Oh, because it's a forest with Dryad. Okay, that's another good interaction to remember that I've easily been forgetting. Okay. Pop that. Before we ultimate Nissa, we definitely want to use her one more time. And these can't block. So my opponent's actually almost dead. It's cool, but they're not actually dead, which is uncool. Might as well play this out this turn. I don't see any reason not to. Just attack with all the Vigilant folks. And we got to dodge Ember Cleave. Ideally, they could just draw their 3rd land right now and then we kill them. But pretty much any spell in their deck is bad news at this point. Any spell. Another 1/1 with haste would be okay. We could handle that. Bloody, I am doing okay. Temur Clover had a medium night, I would say. I think the deck is probably slightly underpowered, even though I still love it. We're just trying out a Yeoman deck right now, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to play in this end-of-month tournament. See if I can get some more Mythic points. Fervent Champion. Okay, I think That is not one that kills. Yeah, it doesn't actually kill. I don't know why my opponent's saying good game there. Oh, they're saying good game because they know they couldn't win? Did I miscount this? That's 5 damage. Block a Steamkin. Block a Steamkin. Block a 2-1. Block a 2-1. Block a 1-1. Take 5 damage? Bloody, isn't there a tournament at the end of every month? I thought it was at the end of every month now. Am I mistaken in that? Okay, they're just throwing off all their mana to stunt and they lost. Wow, that was close. Yeah, I don't actually know what's going on, Bloody. I think the points about trying to find a good deck still matters. Trying to actually experiment with a bunch of stuff because this format is just so wide open right now. Okay, mono red. Yeah, I'll take some Ether Gusts, take some Sweepers, take some Brontodons. I will take 0 copies of Teferi Time Raveler. What else do I cut? Arboro Grazer, much as I loathe to admit it, is pretty fine here. Dryad is a 3-mana 2/4. Bloody, is it just the metagame challenge? There's not something special at the end of the month? I really thought they were doing something every month, but I'm probably wrong about that. On the draw, I am down to just cut a land in these matchups, but let's trim a temple or something like that. Actually, I'm bringing a bunch of double white cards. Let's trim a land that is not making white mana. How about that? Trim an island. And what else? Given that I have Ether Gust, there's some world where I might want to trim like Growth Spiral or something like that. Yeah, I mean, in Cards of Genesis, I haven't really looked this up carefully, and I'm not really paying much attention. I think the Wizards of the Coast communications have been slightly lacking in some respects, but in this case, it's definitely my fault. All right, I'm going to cut 1 Growth Spiral and then cut a couple of top-end cards. I think Krasis is worse than Dream Trawler. So I'll just cut 2 of these, and I think Nissa is kind of unreal with 4 Dryads, so I'm pretty sure I always just want to keep 4 Nissa. I don't know if this is right at all. Bloody, yeah, I really want to go. I'm really excited for that one. I think if at least definitely if Shoop's still going, if Shoop's not going, if you're going or Shoop's going, I'll definitely go DreamHack Anaheim and hang out. Otherwise, uncertain. So this is what, turn 2 Wolfwell Haven, turn 3 nothing, but I have a temple? I think this is too bad. I think I can't keep this with 3 different pain lands. Okay, yeah, turn 3 Shatter the Sky. I will keep for that one. And dump the, I think it's just a Growth Spiral. Could just be I'll dump my Growth Spiral and just keep the perfect, like, pain-free turn 3 Shatter the Sky curve. Sweet. In that case, Bloody, you will see me there. I like Banishing Light as answer to their post-shatter threat. Okay, that's going to be a lot of cards for post-shatter. Fun, fun, fun. But if I find one big threat like a Dream Trawler, then all the cards for that they can find probably won't matter too much. Another champion, sure. Bloody, that's I'm probably going to be driving to Anaheim. I'm going to be in San Diego at that point, so it's reasonably close as driving goes. I actually won't be in SF anymore. Alright, I burst that bubble. But I really look forward to seeing y'all in Anaheim. am super psyched to like meet you in person, which I have not done still somehow. Alright, so it looks like Anax is going to be their play post-Shatter, and then we're going to take it out with Banishing Light, and everything will be great forever, assuming we find a threat. Yeah, moving back real soon. These continue to not be threats. Okay, crack that. Even like a Thrashing Brontodon would be super excellent. Alright, so my opponent played 2 different 1-mana draw 2s. I did a 4 for 1, We're like roughly even after all that. Ooh, Dryad. Okay. Not super eager to like play this and take a bunch of damage in the process, but I like that it at least does something for next turn. Ah, escape rooms. I actually don't like escape rooms at all, so I'm glad you're doing that without me. Unchained Berserker. That card's not very good. Arboreal Grazer. Alright, that does hold off Phoenix. Loath as I am to admit it, the card is fine here. Put that in tapped. Play Dryad, and then do I play the 7th land, or do I hold it up in case of Dream Trawler? I think at this point they're not going to be able to kill Dream Trawler with any of their spells anyway, so I'm just going to put it in tapped. In case I draw Krasis, or, I don't know, Growth Spiral into Nissa or something like that. Okay. Well, I'm about to get Embercleaved, and it's going to suck, but that's life. Can't really play around that one. At least they're not killing Grazer this turn. So I could find Thrashing Brontodon, and it would be great. I could find Fabled Passage and be done on board. Okay. Let's go to game 3 and try to find some cards that do things. Bloody, looking forward to it very much indeed. Alright. Yeah, that's the thing. We found some cards, none of them really did anything. Alright, did I trim stuff that did stuff a little too? Do I even want a Arboreal Grazer? I just hate this card so much. It's like fine on turn 1, but it's so bad so often in the late game, and I think our early game should be pretty okay with the number of sweepers and like reasonably sized creatures I have. Maybe I'm just wrong about that. Maybe I just cut some Growth Spirals. Feeling dissatisfied by all that. Let me, but realistically we have like 10 pretty good cards that are finisher type things. It does block most of the creatures. MT Jesus, I do not know what this person's gender identity is, but it will block most of their creatures. I think I'm down for one more Krasis. I think we'll be okay with the amount of ramp we have at double Grazer, double Spiral, quad, Wolf Willow, quad, Dryad. Alright, let's get him. Nope. Don't try to click on that one. Shoot! God, ramp decks. I mean, I certainly get these hands with Clover often, but sometimes these hands with Clover can actually be kept, where I don't think I can actually keep this. It's just I don't think a 2/4 is good enough. Huh. And now we have Grazer double Dryad and 2 lands, and I think I'm forced to keep it. Ah, I hate everything. Alright, we're gonna cut a Dryad out of this hand and just try to draw a bunch of lands in a row. That's my current plan. I could have paid 2 to hit Grazer there, because I could play Dryad off the 3rd land. That was actually probably right. Yeah, I should have done that. Not used to Dryad to Grazer math yet. Alright, playing Wolf Willow Haven out now, because it actually lets me play Dryad next turn. Johan Christie, sorry, that's not going to work. If you look at Arena deck lists and find Yeoman 5's post about Bant Ramp, that is the current list we're on. This is so bad. Yeah. Alright, well, if I find another land I can shatter, which is cool, and then I can grow a Spiral and trade enough lands to play Dream Trawler. This is far from over. You're welcome, Johan Christie. Thanks for stopping by the stream. And to be fair, I'm definitely not updating on this to say anything about the quality of the deck. Obviously, our mulliganing... I think we mulligan every game? Certainly mulliganing in both the 2nd and the 3rd games is not ideal. Your hands have been below average. But I'm just like, every time I draw an Arboreal Grazer in a hand like this, I just hate everything. Now, Dryad these and Grow doesn't even really block because they could have Infuriate. Maybe this is the card I'm supposed to be cutting, actually. Oh, Steamkin. So I assume they have Shock? It's not blocking. Go ahead, do what you're going to do. Incarcerated Genesis, this deck plays 2, but I really just think that it's completely plausible that the correct number of Arboreal Grazers to play at any point is just 0. I just think this card is horrible. Like, I think you have 8 2-mana ramp spells. I just don't think you should be letting yourself play a 1/3. And now there's an 8-X, so if I could cash out of this guy, I'm just going to get killed anyway. I'm just going to scoop this one. Can't reasonably win it. Alright, well, we'll have hopefully better luck next time. Maybe it was my fault for shaving a land. Dropping to rank 50 is not that fun, but I almost dropped to the top 100 earlier in the season, so we'll carry on. Let's try again. I think this deck keeping 7s is probably still sweet. Yeah, I think I might try a couple more matches with the Grazers, but eventually I think I might just cut them and replace them with something like Questing Beast. Incarcerated Geneticist, I agree. That does seem like what is the case, and I don't like it at all. I just can't think of. I mean, obviously it's an innocuous card, but it's hard to think of a game I've ever lost because my ramp opponent played an Arboreal Grazer. And it's very easy to think of games I've won, like many games I've won, because my opponent top decked an Arboreal Grazer in a bad situation. All right, this is a good hand. In for it. Hey, Just One, good to see you on the stream here. Yeah, I mean, you definitely did the thing that Mono Red does, which is ask questions and ask the other deck if they had answers, and I just was not finding answers there. So well played. First game was really cool, really close. Wish we'd had a more interesting second and third. And thanks for following. Yeah, Genesis, I think 2, if there is a right number, and the right number is not 0, there's a good chance the right number is 2. Like, you definitely don't like drawing 2 of them in any hand ever in history. But, like, anytime after turn literal 1, it's just an awful card, and I don't like cards like that. Alright, I think I just Banishing Light this thing before it becomes a problem. Get out of here. Play this. I'm actually looking to draw more lands right now, so I'm not going to play Fabled Passage yet. Inning's not worth it at all. Just one, cool. I see that you play that as well as Mono Red. I think that Anax looks really good, and Mono Red with the Infuriate Embercleave Anax engine might be super sweet. So, yeah, but I'm glad you enjoy the Temur list too. Please do. Yeah, I don't stream too often, but it's a new set. I'm playing a lot of Magic anyway, so I figure I might as well try to do some of these. Okay, we get to keep Krasis, which is cool. So we Fabled Passage first, so that we get to keep our Scry. I think it's actually a super open question whether it's even worth playing Dryad versus just Scrying 2 with Castle Vantress. I think I'm much more interested in just Scrying 2. Gonna grab Forest, I guess. I have this Temple of Enlightenment, which gives me enough colors for Dream Trawler. And actually, no, I'm gonna play Dryad because it lets me put my 6th land into play so I can Krasis for a bunch next turn. Set my upkeep. Okay, I'll keep Dream Trawler. Never mind, I don't need an upkeep stop anymore. Well, this is cool. The problem is Dream Trawler isn't actually going to be hexproof if I play it with no cards in hand, so I do need them not to Thought Erasure me again. Mortify is fine. I don't care about that. And I think this has to just be Dream Trawler over Hydroid Krasis here, even though discarding Hydroid Krasis to like an Elspeth Conqueror's Death won't be fun. I just don't see my opponent beating a Dream Trawler in a million years. I guess they have 2 removal spells. That could work. That would be kind of sad. Like they have Teferi plus D-Spark. But we're going to try throwing it out there. I've heard that Dream Trawler wins games. So far, I haven't lost this card, but I've heard that decks that aren't Temur Clover have trouble with it. Incarcerated Geneticist, Prepcoin's gas. Go watch. Prepcoin was more gas when he was playing a lot of Temur Clover, but still gas. Still plays a lot of cool decks. Great community. I'm into it. Okay, Elspeth Conqueror's Death coming at me. I assume they're just going to make me discard this Hydroid Krasis. Seems right. Yep. Alrighty then. Is it worth scrying before I Trawler? Don't think so. I'd rather just leave the chance open that I draw something pretty good off this. Willful Haven. I'm kind of into just keeping all of this as Trawler food. I don't see my opponent's beating Trawler, and being able to give it hexproof multiple times in a turn is going to prevent any kind of double spell shenanigans. I'm just going to pass. Go ahead. How do you beat Dream Trawler? Empty Jesus, sorry to hear it. Sorry to hear it. Ashiok is in, okay. What is Ashiok going to do? I can take cards out of my hand with this, but it's not really going to matter because I have a Dream Trawler. Okay. Guess it's Haven, because it doesn't net mana, or if I draw a Crisis, I can imagine wanting to play out the Fabled Passage. Okay. Scry now. Oh, wow, that's a lot of, Yep, take a Crisis. Cool. I like Castle Vantress gives me something to do when I'm not playing cards from my hand, so the Dream Trawler does stuff. That's a nice feature. And opponent's actually just dead to Hydroid Crisis now because we're going to make this Dream Trawler big enough to kill them. Is that right? No, they have the 1/1. So it doesn't work. I'll throw this down. X equals 4. Okay, and just scoop anyway. Neat. Done. Alright, so Esper decks can be a tough matchup for ramp, at least if we're not doing the Uro thing, which we're not. But we now get to cut a bunch of the bad ramp cards and bring in cards that do things, which I always like that part. I would like no Arboreal Grazers, no Dryads, please. Just give me cards that actually affect the board. In for some Elspeth Conquers Death, in for some Mystical Disputes, in for some negates. One negate, get 3 dispute, the right distribution. Dispute being able to counter Thought Erasure on turn 1 is very good. Being able to counter Teferi for 1 mana is very good. I think I'm down for this. Distribution, do I still want the 8 ramp spells? I should just bring in the second negate as well and cut the Wolf Willow Haven. There's a world where I want some Shatter the Sky as like insurance against Hero Precinct 1. Is that better than Banishing Light? Banishing Light can take out Ashiok, but I have a bunch of counters for that. Shatter the Sky can take out hero stuff. I think I'll put in 1 time wipe and cut. Tef actually isn't that good, right? It like takes out hero briefly, but doesn't do much else. I can cut some of those and add like a couple sweepers. This is very random. I don't know what I'm doing in this matchup at all. But I want to have a little bit of insurance against hero, a lot of counters for the Planeswalkers, and none of the bad ramp cards. XR82 also, if you're still watching, I see I missed your follow before, but thanks for following. WoW Arena is beginning to lag a lot. I'll have to restart that soon. Yeah, and for this hand, it's a little awkward that we have to deploy our mana in a particular way to be able to negate and stuff, but the fact that I can counter Tef is nice. Having an answer to hero is nice. Having a Castle Vantress is, do I start with that so I don't have Fabled Passage? I'll start with that so I don't have Fabled Passage. We get Thought Erasure. It's not obvious what our opponent's supposed to take. Hero Precinct 1 is fine. I just get to hold up negate plus Growth Spiral, and then it's a little awkward that if I do negate something, I can't Banishing Light the hero next turn, but I think we'll be okay. Not worried about dying to beats from that one just yet. Takes a hit, goes for Thought Erasure. Gonna say no to that one. Get booped. Okay. Hallowed Fountain. Alright, so we're gonna just Temple here. Plains. That's a 6 land for Dream Trawler, but I think we're probably gonna have enough lands to be in a reasonable position for a while. I'd rather draw a spell here. Tef, sure. Spiral before that one comes down. And another Fabled Passage. Okay. Alright, yeah, definitely glad that we have a couple of Wraths to find at this point. Tef's going to make it harder for Dream Trawler to be super secure, but... Alright, now the question is... So I don't think we Banishing Light the hero here, because Tef can just get rid of it. I'm just going to play out a 3/3 Crisis. Grab a Forest off of you for Nissa purposes. And just make a thing they have to do something about. Can't get Elspeth Conqueror's Death, which is nice. And if they spend time dealing with it, it's going to make it harder for them to have an easy answer to Dream Trawler. No! Oh well. You have my Dream Trawler. I have 3 more of those in my deck. Are we doing tempo stuff? Just trying to kill with tempo? Alright, tempo is happening. Let's go. Do it again. Okay. Still feeling pretty okay here. Might want that 3rd Wrath if we end up doing a game 3, because I'm now realizing this is pretty much the only way I can ever imagine losing this game. Is just a fast hero start. I think you take Banishing Light if you're my opponent here. I don't know what's in their hand, of course. Because Banishing Light means I can actually take out the hero and then cast Crisis and actually have reasonable blocks. Okay. So I think that is the plan. I would like to Banishing Light the hero and then play a 2/2 Crisis that can block everything. We'll just do this. I will deploy the Crisis first, just in case I draw like exactly Shatter the Sky, which might tempt me to play a tap land and a Woeful Haven this turn or something. Make sure we're leaving up white mana. We are good. Okay. Banish this thing. It's possible we should have focused on banishing the hero a little bit earlier with double Tef. It's going to be hard to keep it under wraps. See if they have like Ashiok now. Alright, just getting the hero back, which is fine. Don't mind that too much. Being able to kill Tef is nice. And are we going on the offensive with these? Yep, makes sense. Alrighty, interesting. So I can kill Tef, I can hold up Negate and play a 4/4 Crisis, which puts me to 6. Except for Elspeth Conqueror's Death is going to turn off my Negate, so I can't do that. So I think I'm just gonna go for Temple so I can do some scrying and then play a 5/5 Crisis. Really looking just for a Wrath right now, or a Dream Trawler. Dream Trawler is also acceptable. Except cancel, I should actually play a Woeful Haven into a 4/4 Crisis. Gotta remember how this card works. Okay, 4th Crisis is cool too. Gonna whack Tef in the face here. Is it correct to whack Tef in the face? They can get one back from the graveyard either way. I could hold this back as a blocker for the turn. Ah. Yeah, given they're actually getting a Tef back next turn anyway, I'm actually going to say no attacks here. I'm not going to be really doing much negating, I don't think. Alright, what's going to be Legion's End? Legion's End would be really, really horrifying. Alright, this was your whole hand, huh? Just Tefs. All Tefs. All the time. Could be worse. I think I'm okay with all this. Alright, so Dream Trawler can be tapped down pretty easily, so I think I actually just want to play a Crisis, which I have Temple of Mystery first. Is there anything interesting I can do for 2 mana that's not a creature spell? No? Dream Trawler, if they can Tef it, puts me to 0 if they just attack with everything and have any way to deal with Crisis, which is really bad. I think I'm priced into just doing this as a 7/7 here. Could pay 2, do as an 8/8, gain 4, go to 7. Not dead to the attacks if I do that. Okay, let's do that then. There's nothing I'm going to be able to put in the way of these creatures anyway. Okay. 8. All right, still whiffing on the wraths that we have in the deck. Is my Krasis dying to a Mortify? Krasis dies to a Mortify, I lose. No attacks. Okay. Discarding... What in the world do they have available to them now? I'm just going to discard these pain lands. Soul Sea 159. I don't know. I haven't seen really enough of it being played to have strong opinions on it. I think Esper Hero has not been good in long enough that I suspect that it's probably not great now. Like, the format did get quite a bit more powerful anyway. But I could easily be wrong about that. Like, it wouldn't totally surprise me if it turned out Esper Hero was just pretty good. But I haven't impressed with what I've seen of it so far. All right, Ashiok's going to put me to 1. Not too bad, not too bad. Definitely bring in the third copy of my third Wrath effect. I'm going to exile... I guess it's just one of the Graces at this point. I have plenty of those. I assume this is probably Thought Erasure. I mean, if they have like a Dovin's Veto, I can't win from here, I don't think. Another Tef. Oh, man. All right, what's the play? So, Krasis does not get me high enough to not just die to Esper Hero token, so I can't do that. The question is basically, how do I draw a bunch of cards efficiently enough that... All right, we're actually going to need to Tef our way into this, I think. Start with 1 Tef. Need to hold up double white, so let's be really careful about how we tap for these. See if this gets vetoed. Gonna bounce, might as well just bounce a token here. I'm looking for a Wrath effect, and if I find one, I don't want Hero coming back later anyway. Okay, so I can now do white, blue, green. I can play Temple of Mystery to scry. No, I need to hold up mana so that doesn't happen. So I have mana floating. Okay, so we're gonna do Temple of... We're gonna untap and do this correctly. Just make sure we don't flummox ourselves. Temple of Mystery. Scrying for Shadow of the Sky. Or Time Wipe. Nope. Okay. And I guess I'm actually supposed to Growth Spiral because I could find Time Wipe here. Let's do that. No, does Nissa do anything interesting? Don't believe so. Does Dream Trawler do anything if they can't tap it down? I can't play Dream Trawler anyway. Okay, we're dead. Yeah, Soul Sea 159. I mean, you 7-0 with Fires and with Esper Hero? I think these are both like fine decks. I don't think there's anything wrong with Esper Hero. I just haven't been blown away by the power level of it when I see it. And when I think about like the decks that feel like they're the most likely to be the very best decks in the format, I think about like the rock hard quality of blue-white or the and synergy of blue-white or the power of a Simic ramp deck. But I wouldn't be surprised if the hero wound up being just tier 1. Definitely play the third Shatter. But a just cut a land. Kind of like having a good land count. And Tef might be fine. I didn't see any evidence that they're actually playing counters, though. What kind of other Haven? I honestly just don't think we need to be ramping that hard. I think we just want to survive until we get to our very big spells that are better than their very big spells. Oh, congrats. It sounds like you're 14-0 on the night, then. That's pretty good. Yeah, and for this, Nissa getting Thought Erasure would be a little awkward, but they basically have to... We have 2 threats that are tough for them to deal with that probably both have to be discarded to be dealt with properly. And we're just going to hope they don't have double Thought Erasure. All right. Well, now they're definitely not going to have double Thought Erasure. Ouch. Okay, they could have Duress. Guess that's a thing. That was a very quick take of Nissa. Huh. And now I'm going to do the super awkward thing where I have an extremely obvious negate that I'm holding up because I'm not playing this Woeful Haven, but I'm not going to let them Thought Erasure me, that's for sure. Okay. So now I just go Breeding Pool. Untapped. Cast Woeful Haven on Breeding Pool. Soulsea159, no. I tried Knight's Clover a little bit, and I think without Once Upon a Time, the deck is just not powerful enough to really be worth doing. I am okay with Mortify. You can have my ramp card. That is fine. Growth Spiral looking real clean. It's gonna play this out. So I want to get a white source off Fabled Passage, so I can still Growth Spiral into Fabled Passage, get a Planesplay Negate. Green tapped. Yeah, I think Knight's Clover just relied too much on Once Upon a Time to really find Innkeeper super reliably. So now we do this. Put Fabled Passage into play. Well, I call it just Mystical Dispute the Tef, which seems better. Let's just do that. Okay, we're not going to use this yet because I'd like to be able to draw a land. So I don't want to thin my deck yet. Another Dream Trawler. Okay. Oh, we'll just wait. This is fine. I do think Knight's Clover is like a reasonable deck and could be fun to play and like would win some games. I just am not super enamored of it, to clarify. Alright, that's a Hallowed Fountain. Let's see if they can counter these Dream Trawlers. I guess if they have a counter and a Thought Erasure, then I get kind of debated. But I'm just going to make them have it because I don't have anything else going on. I don't think I can afford to just sit around making them wait. Here we go. Okay. Good luck. Good luck, opponent. Alright, they're giving it their best shot. We are going to discard a Negate, I think, and just keep the other Dream Trawler in case they just Wrath us or something. Not that that's likely, given that they try to Tyrant Scorn it, but go ahead. Okay. Ashiok Nightmare Muse. Sounds fine. Yeah, I don't think that's right. I feel like this is like a hopeless exercise, and you should just be trying to plus the Ashiok. Maybe mill me out or something, but whatever. Just gonna hold all this stuff because it gives Dream Trawler hexproof, which is great. They're gonna keep trying. Yeah, there's a chance that they could have gotten me by like holding up an Ashiok bounce and then trying to kill everything at once, but I feel like this is not useful at this point. Like, you really want to catch me when I'm accidentally played out too many cards from my hand or something. And now we enter. I think this card is just a really poor design. I thought about it, and it's like neat that Blue White has a cool finisher, but I just, yeah, this card is just way too boring to watch play out. It's not fun when the opponent taps out for a 6-drop and the other player can literally not win the game despite playing 4 different spells that interact with that 6-drop over the next 2 turns. It's just silly. So that might be an argument against me playing this Bant Wrap deck, is that I'm not a huge fan of like Dream Trawler, the Magic card. Just it's good, but if I think a card is not a good design, not the kind of thing that should have been printed, then it's hard for me to play with it. That's one of the reasons I couldn't get into any Oko decks back when Oko was legal. Okay, let's finish off the night and run a little bit of green white. Yeah, we'll do one more Bant Wrap. Should actually get some real testing with this. Ooh, I have a 25 lands quest. That should be pretty doable. And let me do a quick thing that I have wanted to do. I'm just going to cut these Arboro Grazers. I don't think Arboro Grazer is like a real Magic card. Sorry, yo man. I just don't believe in this. I'm going to add one more Banishing Light, and let's go with a Miser's copy of... Can I just play Uro? Like, Uro seems kind of good with what the deck is doing. Yeah, Stolen Gunner, I think there are ways you could print a Dream Trawler-like card that would be fine. I think that just the package as it's been printed is quite egregious. I could do like a main deck Time Wipe. Main deck Time Wipe honestly seems kind of reasonable. Play to the board, aggro type decks. I could do a Questing Beast. Having something that's like good on 4 mana seems kind of reasonable too. Do an Elspeth Conquers Death, which is just like a really good Magic card. Why don't I just do an Elspeth Conquers Death? This might actually be really bad, but I'm just trying to do something that's better than Arboro Grazer. And having basically infinite ways to get to 5 mana on turn 4 means Elspeth Conquers Death seems kind of reasonable. Yeah, one thing I'm worried about with this particular deck is I think at some point people are going to get used to answering Dream Trawler. Like people are just going to start realizing that as an Esper deck you need to have counter spells in your sideboard for that. And then things will get tougher. Nope. Okay. Interesting choice about what to dump here, but pretty sure it's just the forest. I think I'm more likely to be drawing a bunch of lands and ramp cards and a bunch of extra spells, so I'd rather keep the spells that I have. Yeah, I mean that's even before getting into the whole limited thing, which makes which is even sillier. The fact that it's just a rare and limited. I think my first Theros draft ever, I drafted a Dream Trawler, and then I played against somebody with a Dream Trawler, and the person who drew their Dream Trawler won every single game, and then I didn't give up on Theros draft immediately. I hear it's really fun and I want to go back sometime, but it's just like the worst possible start to trying that at all. It's just terrible. Mono black, okay. Well, a little bit of interaction and some Dream Trawlers should be pretty good. Or not mono black, looks like it's... Do I just Banishing Light the stupid cat? I have nothing to do next turn either. I'm just going to wait. I don't feel any need to Banishing Light the stupid cat yet. Play a Midnight Reaper, a Mayhem Devil, and just get rid of that one. Ghost Rider, okay. I'll Banishing Light that if I have nothing better to do. Although actually, I kind of really want to hit my 5th land now that I'm thinking about it. Let's just play this. Make sure we get to Elspeth Conquers Death. I like this comes back as exactly a 1-1 with Elspeth Conquers Death. That's fun. Okay. Our opponent doesn't curve too hard here. I really like to look over next few turns. You want to play a Nightmare Shepherd? And play like a Claim the Firstborn? Okay, that one is fine. I will wait to block the Ghost Rider until it's not going to come back and make another token, I think. Would rather just... Okay, taking 3 damage in order to get rid of this thing permanently at some point. So now... Just going to Conquer's Death. I think with Nightmare Shepherd out and the possibility of Claim the Firstborn, this is pretty unlikely to survive. And this also opens the possibility that next turn I get to go like land, Nissa, Banishing Light, which is neat. I get to sack this, but I don't really care that much. And this way, if they kill Nissa the turn after we cast her, we get to get her back immediately with Elspeth Conquer's Death, and then do fun stuff from there. Yeah, Elspeth Conquer's Death is just so ridiculous with Nissa. It feels like this is a card worth having some number in the main. Okay, and do some blocking here. This cat attack is interesting. You just have nothing going on. It'd be really, really funny if this goat was helping them get Embercleave. I wonder if that's a legitimate strategy. Maybe you're supposed to be playing Ghost Rider alongside Embercleave because this goat is just so handy for that. Okay, Ayara's in. Cool. That'll be a great Banishing Light target if I draw a land. Nope. Okay. So it seems pretty likely I have claimed the Firstborn, but I think it's fine. Just in for Nissa, untap Breeding Pool, have Growth Spiral at the ready. Hey, thanks, LC. Hope you add to your winning record if you're going to play more tonight or tomorrow, whenever it happens. And yeah, if you give anything a try and it seems really excellent, other than Fires and Esper Hero, let me know. Always curious to hear about how people's results have been. All right, opponent, you want to send all your firepower in Nissa so I can Elspeth Conquer's Death it back? Do ya? Do ya? Is that what you want to do? Nope. Okay. So Dream Trawler should block this one up pretty well if we don't get a bunch of sack effects thrown at us. MG Jesus, Grixis Fires. I have some opinions on that deck. they're not very positive opinions. I have yeah, I feel like just like Kenrith is just so strong that it feels really bad passing it up in a Fires deck. Is my opinion on the matter, although admittedly I haven't played much Fires, so I'm not well educated in this regard. Alright. Okay. So what am I doing now? Probably Probably just Crisis plus Banishing Light, right? Just get something huge going, kill them. Ah, Kenrith in your Grixis Fires. That sounds greedy. Sounds pretty greedy. But I'm glad you're having fun with it, or so it would seem. I'm in for just a 6/6 Crisis here. I guess claim the Firstborn is still a risk, but now they only have one card in their hand. I'm not as worried about it. Okay, so hitting a land means I get to hold up. Let's see, so I can Growth Spiral into Banishing Light as well, but I can't hold up a 3/3 if I do that. Is that worth it? It's just Banishing Light and hold up a 3/3 here, because 3/3 can cast Growth Spiral at the end of their turn anyway. Untap this. There's a question whether I should start attacking with this like breeding pool here. Probably worthwhile. Okay, trading this for a Woe Strider and casting Growth Spiral anyway. And kind of trying to get my opponent dead. They have claimed the Firstborn. This is actually a terrible play, so I probably shouldn't have done it that way. We'll see. Okay, we're going to whittle down some goat tokens. Don't mind that. Then I'll just cast this Banishing Light, getting the Priest. Just never ever let them untap with Priest if you can help it. I think that this card is much more dangerous than Ayara at the moment, even though it can be sacked to draw a card. I guess I do have this tap 2/2 Crisis. I'm just super worried about claiming the Firstborn. Yeah, I think this is just the take. Just reduces the chance I die next turn. But the attack with the 2/2 Crisis was probably bad. I should have thought about that more. Yep. Get your thing. Sure. Go ahead. Actually, am I straight dead to claim the Firstborn? It might be. Oh, I feel like I might have seen it earlier if they had one. Okay. All right, Woe Strider. Pretty good card to have one of. Not as good to just have 3 of. It's a lot of Woe Striders. I'll note that this game has had a lot of decisions in it, and I could easily be making some of the wrong decisions here. It's the first time we've had a kind of tighter, like lots of options, both players having big boards kind of game. Okay, life total starting to drop a little bit low, but Dream Trawler is pretty strong. Opponent shouldn't have Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Feeling reasonably confident still. Alright, that's another Hydroid Crisis. That should probably lock things up pretty well, I would imagine. Let's attack first and then just drop a gigantic Crisis on their heads, I think. This one on the castle, whatever. I guess I should still keep playing Firstborn in mind, but maybe it's just Dream Trawler this turn. Yeah, they block first. Okay, throwing away lots of sack fodder. Sure. I'm gonna be really happy when Arena gets an always yield button. That's gonna make me really happy. That's the thing, I just feel myself getting slightly bored playing this deck, just even in this game where we're winning and we're doing lots of things. It's just not that much fun. And I feel like that's probably a solid reason not to play a deck like this, or like test a deck like this for big tournaments, even if I think it's strong. So I'm just going to go for Dream Trawler plus a smaller Crisis here, just to limit the damage that a Claim the Firstborn could do, but this should be plenty of juice to kill, I think. Plenty of death incoming at this point. I guess actually, it's probably right to make this like 1 point smaller, just so I could block it with Dream Trawler if they claim the Firstborn to me. But it's immaterial. I definitely like the part where they never had a Mayhem Devil this game. That made things much more comfortable. What's your out opponent? What are you looking for? What's going to save you from like 20 damage in the air next turn? That's what I thought. I guess, was I dead to double claim? Huh. No, I was not dead to double claim, although it would have been close. Alright, so sideboarding against this kind of thing. In 4, I think Aether Gust is not quite good enough. The only red cards I'm certain they're playing are Mayhem Devil, which is fine, but they only have 4 copies of that, and Claim the Firstborn, which is very awkward to hold up Aether Gust against. I just don't think I want counters. I think I just want to be playing a tap out kind of attack them style of deck here. So I want Shatters, I want Time Wipe. Pretty interested in... I'm interested in Thrashing Broadside. I can take out an Oven and it can take out a Nightmare Shepherd. That's probably good enough for it to be better than Dryad. Plus if I can block Mayhem Devil and such. Well, it's close. Not very interested in Tef here. It just doesn't balance anything that efficiently. I like Elspeth Conquers Death. I need to make some cuts here. I'm really uncertain of the Dryad Borontodon split. It feels like getting rid of Oven is going to be really strong if I can do it. So let me just cut the Dryads down to 2 copies and maybe 2 Elspeth Conqueror's Death. I don't want my top end to be that thick. It's possible I should cut some number of Crasises against a more aggressive deck, but let's go with this here. They're not that fast. I have enough ways to get rid of Priest that playing big creatures has some chance of being good later. So this is turn 2 Woeful Haven, turn 3 Small Crisis, turn 4 Bigger Crisis. This one's close. I'll try it. If you're ever unsure, it's nice to maybe try keeping a sketchy hand, see how it actually works out in practice. I'm lying, I just don't like mulliganing. Elspeth Conqueror's Death doesn't do a lot for me right now, but whatever. But hopefully we'll hit 1 land off of the next few draw steps plus the Crisis, and then Elspeth Conqueror's Death curves nicely into Dream Trawler, maybe. Didn't hit my colors. I guess this hand's not very color dense. No reason to be wary of it. But opponent's start has been slow. Thank goodness for temples. Alright, Banishing Light's a really good draw. I like that one. Haven on the... man, which lands am I supposed to be havening on? Guess I'll make it the island because that's good if I draw a Growth Spiral. Think through this. This is definitely going to be the kind of thing there's like a correct answer in each situation that comes up. We want to do Mayhem Devil, Midnight Reaper, Ayara. Give me something to banish. Perfect. Agreed. I'll take it. Temple Garden. Alright, so I could try to wait an Elspeth Conquers Death at and then Krasis later, but I'm just going to banish it. They're not going to beat me without playing expensive cards. And whatever expensive card they play next gets conquered. The thing I'm worried about is if they're sandbagging a Priest or if they top deck one. I just get rid of my only answer to Priest, and Priest is their best card against us. That's some consideration for doing small Krasis and waiting on Banishing Light, but just like getting Krasis eaten for free by Mayhem Devil with a couple of sacks didn't feel fun either. Sure, that one I will conquer gladly. It's a little awkward that Dream Trawler doesn't have anything good to discard that I could get back with Elspeth Conquer's Death, because that's a really fun interaction. But, given they can't kill Dream Trawler anyway, it'll probably be enough to do the trick. Let's see if they Priest now. Nope, it's just more cats. Yeah, so an example of where my, like, hating to play bad cards bias really gets me is the fact that I've never played a deck with Cauldron Familiar in it. I just hate that card way too much. I think it's just much too weak when you draw it and not, like, other good cards alongside it. That's like a mite unfortunate. Oh, I can actually discard Thrashing Branch onto the Stream Trawler now, so that's neat. That'll be something good to get back with Elspeth Conquer's Death. Let's just remember to do that at some point. I guess we could get got by Angrath's Rampage here if they have that. We did show them Dream Trawler, so there's a reasonable chance they have Angrath's Rampage, but that doesn't even worry me too much with these double Krasis. Oh wait, no, Angrath's Rampage we just bring it back with Elspeth Conquer's Death. Never mind. This card is ridiculous. It's just so good. This is a card I can imagine being very likely to end up in whatever deck I'm playing by the end of the season. So strong. Oh man, a lot of cats. That's a lot of cats. Alright, that card at least doubles all your cats, which is cool. You can have it. Oh, unless I Thrashing Bronton with it, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Mucho Tommy, if you want to find the deck list, or something that's pretty close to the deck list, I've modified a little bit, you can go to the Arena Decklist Twitter and find Yeoman5's most recent tweet about Bant Ramp. Sorry, I don't have it uploaded yet to Stream Decker because we just started playing it midstream. Give that a counter. Play Krasis for 4. Get some pump on the Dream Trawler. Attack with the Dream Trawler. Gain 7. Goodness gracious, what a magic card. And we'll just pop off the we'll hold up Bronton. We don't need to pop the Shepherd just yet. Wait. Burglar Rat of all things. Oh, okay. That's a card. I just feel like there's no way this is. I feel like the Blackguard Sacrifice deck has so many other cards that are pretty good that I don't see the Burglar Rat being a thing you should have. Alright, they died to Dream Trawler. Way to go. I might end up playing this deck because it seems quite powerful, but I do not enjoy the Dream Trawler games very much. There is not a lot of excitement with those. So I think that's going to wrap up the stream for tonight. Decks that I am going to keep testing include some kind of green-white Bogles deck, because I love drawing cards and playing cheap spells. Temur Adventures, because I love playing cheap cards and drawing spells, or playing cheap spells and drawing cards. Various like blue-green ramp decks, hopefully finding one that can trend a little bit more mid-range, so it's not quite as boring to play, but see what seems strong. Failing that, maybe playing a deck with some Agents of Treachery and Thasses in it, so I kill people really fast, and the game's just in it over immediately once I get my thing going. Want to try a little bit of blue-white, want to try some Grixis, but I feel like I'm going to end up doing something that's green and draws a bunch of cards. That's just like the type of Magic that I trend toward. Thanks to everyone who showed up on the stream tonight. Hope you had fun watching, even if we were kind of slogging through some Dream Trawler games there. And hope you give the stream a follow. We try to play lots of different decks that are unusual. I try never to be playing the tier 1 thing at any moment, whatever that is. And yeah, have hit number 1 in a few arena seasons now, and I'm going to be fighting for it here as well. But mostly just looking to test different decks and see what feels good. So Thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you again soon.